Sam Roberts Show.
And both Greg and Anthony will be at the Vermont Comedy Club in Burlington on Valentine's Day weekend, February 13th through the 15th. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, man. This is the third time I've done this show, and you've set a date that I went, holy shit, I have to be there this Friday. I have completely forgotten that I have that gig. That a gig is happening.
Yeah.
But thank God you said it.
Because you would not have been there.
I would not have been there this Friday. I was off in my mind.
Right.
Anthony, you want to do the show Friday? Because I have not booked it.
For sure.
Oh, God.
That's great. See, we're trying to provide a service here.
Oh, fuck, man. It's going to be wild. Great lineup. Anthony's on it.
I think.
Travis, you want to do it?
That does suck. You probably were thinking like, okay, weekend's coming up. Like I'll have time. Like I have time. You know, I'll be able to do this. Maybe I'll watch this show. Maybe I'll just chill. And it's like, no, dude, you have a gig on Friday.
You have a gig that I'm producing where I literally have to put the comics on and come up with a plan.
Right. So not only is it the stress of the gig, but also all the pressure of putting together the show that you just found out.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I got one final season of What We Do in the Shadows I was really going to catch up on.
That's not this
Friday.
weekend.
Oh, I can't do the gig. Sorry.
Really?
I just realized.
And people are just canceling left
People
and
are
right.
dropping out.
By the way, it's like 2 minutes. All right, I think I'll be okay. Nope, not okay again.
Well, if you want to do the gig, call in. The number here is... Oh, wait. I already fucked it up.
Well, welcome, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got a lot going on right now.
A lot going on.
You know, I was actually, so I was listening. Welcome to Talktown. It's a great show.
Thank you.
You guys are trying to put together the perfect society. I feel like there are a lot of communist ideals in there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of sharing, a lot of paying in, a lot. It feels like the further you go down, it feels like you lean more and more communist. And I don't even know if you guys realize like you're just doing kind of communism.
Absolutely not. Greg and I are not readers,
Nor educated.
Right. You're like, well, what if everybody works and pays into the system and then money is doled out equally?
It's a lot of big ideas.
I'm like, I think I read about this somewhere. I think the book was Little and Red.
and all journalists will be in prison. It's one of our ideas.
Yeah. If you can control the way information goes out, you can control how people feel. It'd be great.
It's every episode is either this is communism, this is dictatorship, or this is a cult.
Right.
We cannot seem to figure out how to do a nice, peaceful, normal society.
Yeah, because you have to figure out, okay, the society that you guys are trying to form. Are you trying to form a society that you're a part of or that you're in charge of?
Right.
Because if it's you're in charge of, then we start going dictatorship, and then I think the difference between a cult and a dictatorship is if you get to have sex with people's wives.
Right. And
Right.
yeah, everybody's got to fuck Rick.
Right.
You know, it's like, but here's the thing, because we're thinking about it, we're like, okay, we won't be Rick. We'll get a Rick, right? So everyone's got to fuck a guy, right?
Yeah.
It's selfish for us to do this. So what about every year we nominate somebody and everybody gets to fuck that guy?
Wow.
Instead of being selfish about it.
And there could be
right?
Yeah.
some kind of system to get to be Rick. It would be that thing that motivates you to do better, whether it's work, whether it's whatever.
We all vote on this year's Rick.
But you can't vote for yourself.
You can't vote for yourself.
Of course.
Wow.
And no repeat Ricks.
I mean, you could
Gotta be a new Rick.
every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Wait, so the new Rick stays in office for 4 years?
He gets 1 year, but you can rerun every 4 years.
Okay.
Because you don't want one guy. I was Rick. Now I'm going to start murdering people. You know, like he needs to know that he can keep running on being the new Rick.
I like that.
Right?
I like that, but you got to take 4 years off.
Take 4 years off.
And then also like the elder statesman of the community can go like, you know, it was better with that original Rick 4 years ago.
I really love sucking that Rick off.
I can't wait for 3 years.
Yeah. Although I will say there's an issue. Everyone then could just start nominating hot people. Which could be a problem because you're like, well, if I got
because you want to,
right?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not going to be me, so let's all vote for like Gwyneth. And then Gwyneth's like, I don't want to be Rick.
Sorry.
And he's like, we all want to fuck. Okay, next year, we all fuck Gwyneth.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a problem.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that's tough.
So you run into problems.
That is tough.
Sure, but it's a nice counterbalance. So it's like, well, did you enjoy all those free drinks? Well, now you have to do this service.
Right.
Now you're Rick for a year, whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
and also, I understand you don't want to do it. Does society as a whole benefit?
Right.
Because that's what we're building. We're not building a person.
Civic duty.
That's it.
Sexual communism.
That's right. Again, it goes right back to communism. It went from dictatorship to cult, somehow back to communism.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
When did you? And I also here's what I enjoy. I was listening to an episode. I think it was the episode before last. Maybe I don't remember which one. But there was a real feeling, and I don't know if it was just the day,
Sure.
or this is where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Where like Anthony, you were like kind of just chilling, like, oh, this is just a fun podcast to do. And Greg, you really felt like you were at your wit's end, like a lot of desperation, like this thing has to work.
Oh, right.
Or
That is a dynamic. You're not wrong. You're
okay, that's
right.
the dynamic.
Yes.
Like you, like Anthony was more like, yeah, we're just having fun. It's just kind of a fun idea, and you were like, I have fucking kids.
Yeah.
I gotta feed these kids. If this doesn't work, I'm out.
This guy doesn't want to do social media. He doesn't want to tell anybody about the podcast. And then
They'll find it. They're finding it. Sam found it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I found it very organically.
Yeah.
Travis sent me an email saying, here's who's coming in,
As I
here's
said-
what they're promoting.
That's part of the snowball effect.
That's what he keeps talking about, this snowball effect. And I keep saying there's no fucking snowball. And he's got the snowball effect.
It's happening, Greg.
And I
Let
go,
it
we gotta
happen.
boost reels.
Yeah.
We need clips. And he just sits, he shows up late.
He does.
You know?
Yeah, I do love the idea of taking laziness and attributing it to like an industry. No, it's a snowball effect. You know, I've been in the industry for quite some time. You just wait for it to happen. What you don't want to do is try.
We did a
Yeah.
Go ahead. I see you
Right?
doing the hand
No,
signals.
no. He's taking the words. He must have read my book.
The snowball effect.
It didn't sell
By
a
the way-
lot, so I guess he was one of the.
And ChatGPT wrote it. He's not going to write a book.
Of course, of
No,
course.
you're still waiting on the snowball effect for that book. People will find out about it. Why are we telling them?
But it was great to listen to because it's like Anthony was a little too lackadaisical, I think. But then you felt like you had the weight of the world on your shoulders, and I was like it's a good podcast, but also to make this the end all be all is an unfair amount of pressure to put on yourself.
That I
It's
carry
crazy.
every day with everything I do.
Right.
Yes, this must be the greatest cup of coffee I've ever had, or what was it worth?
Yeah,
my whole life.
Yeah, it's not worth doing.
It's not worth.
If not, and do you talk to is this what you talk to your wife about? Like, listen,
I don't talk to my wife.
you don't. You
know
stopped.
that.
You
Emails.
stopped.
We've just full emails.
So you just
Full
write her an
now.
email going, I want you to know something. I've come up with a new idea for a podcast. And I'm going to give it 5 episodes, and then we're on Easy Street. We're good to go.
So it should be noted that Anthony and I did a
Most
podcast.
comedians haven't thought of doing a podcast yet. So we're getting in early.
Should be noted, Anthony and I did a podcast together for 10 years.
Wow, so you-
10 years. And guess what? That snowball never fucking rolled. All right?
Did it melt?
Yeah, the sun came out the next day.
Yeah.
Most fun thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
And I'm loving the new podcast, but I'm like, let's just try a little bit.
Do you think that a complete lack of effort led to the other podcast for 10 years having no success?
Yes! Because all
You
three
think
of
no,
them.
Anthony?
Absolutely not.
Wait, what?
Sam.
Right.
No.
Right.
It was Greg's earnestness that really was the devastation of that podcast. I think if he could have leaned in more to just the organic way that the United States of America was going to find this thing,
Right.
we'd have been fine.
Right.
But people were turned off by his
get that.
desperation.
No, I get that.
I would say.
I get that. Turning on the podcast and being like, this guy wants it too bad.
Too bad.
This show's not for me.
That is an energy that I have all of the time.
Yeah.
I went to Chick-fil-A, and the lady was like, no, you want this too bad.
Yeah.
We don't turn down customers here.
Oh my God,
But
you have spicy chicken sandwiches? I gotta get a spicy chicken sandwich. Like, I'm not gonna serve you one.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, though, with our last podcast, the Rad Dudecast, and this is Greg. Okay,
That's what it's called, the Rad Dude.
The
It
Rad
sounds like the
Dude-cast.
Ragu cast.
Oh, the Ragu Cast. Well, you know what?
There's another one of
Copyright
Greg's
that.
failed projects.
Well, that was
That was
Macaroni
with
Rascals.
Becky Owen, actually.
Yeah.
So the Rad Dude, why was the Rad Dude podcast not successful?
The Rad Dudecast. Well, I'll say this.
How
And
do
I
you
qu-
measure success?
That's a good
He's
point.
right.
You just said it was so fun.
No, it was very successful. Financially?
Okay.
Nah.
No.
Fine.
I will say this, 2013, 12.
Yeah.
I remember stating, I go, guys, we should get cameras.
Right.
we should cut clips, and they
Oh.
go, video? Who the hell's going to do video podcasts?
You're going strictly audio.
Was a fight that I had with them and lost.
You lost.
I lost that fight.
Okay, you guys go just audio.
Yeah, and I was like,
Okay.
let's just come on, let's get some cameras, you know. Nope.
No. They'll find it. It'll be right there, buried in iTunes somewhere.
And some did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some that listened.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Our fans are diehard fans. It's just we know all of them on a first name basis.
Yeah, they have your phone number.
Yes,
Yeah.
And that should be noted. They do have our phone number because we gave our phone number out on the podcast.
You did?
Yeah.
Yep. And they called us.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you give your phone number out on the podcast?
Why not?
We didn't. Well, we started it. To be fair, we did start the Rad Dude Cast. I mean, now it would be like 15 years ago, and this
Okay.
was like there were like 2 podcasts. There weren't a lot of them. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are more in the industry than I am. You know, I
No,
was
15 years ago. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot more like runway.
We
Yes.
could have been on Easy Street right now if we'd applied ourselves.
And 15 years ago, the idea of doing an audio-only podcast was not quite so
No.
silly.
No, and it was just at the time it wasn't sort of like what it is now. So it was like not too many people had we didn't really know that it's like it could take off to such a level.
Right.
So we were like, who's gonna listen to this anyway?
Right, you're like, Greg, nobody makes money podcasting.
Of course, who would want this?
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, and we did it for sheer love. We would do episodes to sabotage the fans. Like, we would do things like we did one episode where we just read the Forrest Gump script, and the very end we changed it. So the only way to know that Forrest Gump ends is you'd have to sit and listen to Anthony, me, and this guy, Brendan Ayer, another great comedian, just talk through Forrest Gump for an hour to the end to say we change it. What did we change it to? I don't remember. I'll never listen to that shit.
No.
But we would do like... Anthony was eating on half of the episodes. Like, it was, I mean, it was the most fun thing we'd ever done.
Sure, but it was just for you guys.
It was just for us.
It was just for us, and then people did because then podcasts took off, so then people were listening, and then the people were listening were us, but fans.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So just like real, just delightful weirdos were listening to the podcast,
And that's perfect. You find your community.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first episode we gave out our phone number because we were like, who would ever? And then to this day, like I will just be sitting there and I will get an unknown number, and inevitably I'll pick up and I'll go hello, and they'll go, it's really you?
Yeah. Every time.
And also, like, that was 15 years ago. You didn't change your number? Nothing?
And then they get annoyed when they get a phone call and go, hey, it's me. And they're like, are you calling me back? We go,
That is
yes.
the difference, with, I would say, with Greg and myself, where it was like, that's crazy, Anthony. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? And they're like, well, I didn't expect this interaction to even get this far, so I'm not doing anything. I'm going to hang up. Whereas then Greg goes, want to Zoom? And then that person, and then I have to hear about 6 months later how that person might have not been a good new addition of Greg's life.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Last weekend, I was at Mohegan Sun, and this guy, Matt, was there. And Matt Moves Mountains, remember him? He was a fan who called me, and then I demanded he remain my friend.
Sure.
And then I texted him. I was like, hey, man, I'm coming to your area. And he said, I'll be there. And we hung out all night. He's still my friend. I love
He
this
is your
guy.
friend.
He
You
is
love
my...
him.
I said to him, you are my friend. Stop acting this way.
I love the idea of giving out your phone number on a podcast, right? And then the listeners go, don't you know I have your number now? And then Greg Stone turns around and goes, yeah, but don't you know I have your number now?
You're in here with me.
Honey, it's Greg Stone calling again. I don't know why he keeps calling.
You know it's dinner time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a bunch of that. We did that podcast at like Pure Love, and we're doing this new podcast out of Pure Love, but I'm just trying to add 10% promotion
Just something.
to something.
Just
Yeah,
to say, even
just
if it doesn't work, you tried.
No, it works. The
It
fact
does.
that we're doing it worked.
Right.
It's working.
It's
This
working.
is the most fun I've had in my life. I don't care if
I thought the Rad Dude thing was the most fun you ever had.
this is more fun.
It is.
Yes.
Because a minute ago you expressly said this was not more fun.
I'm not
A minute
listening.
ago you said, I know I'm doing a podcast now, but Rad Dude was the funnest.
That was then. This is now.
I see.
Things have changed.
He did say that, right?
Of course he did.
Yeah, man, but you
You
get it.
can't hold him accountable. You cannot hold Greg accountable for what he says. Can't be happening.
It really
what I'm
does
saying.
go back to everything has to be the most. Like,
Yes.
if you've now had multiple things in 10 minutes be the most fun
Yeah.
that you've ever done in your life.
Billy Joel, I go to extremes.
Yeah.
Everything. You got to.
Did your wife wonder why you're opening yourself up to the point where just random fans are calling you, but then also become a part of your life?
You ask about my wife
Okay.
so much it's getting concerning.
Well, because you're a
What,
man.
Peter? As friends.
Yeah?
Not like a sexual
He's
way.
just being a good host. And he's interested in your life, and he's asking you questions. Do you want him to be worse at his job?
No, because look at his eyes when he says, he goes, it's your wife, and his eyebrows go up. Your
I'm
wife.
trying to, in a polite way, tell you that the behavior that you exhibit is concerning for somebody who has no life whatsoever. Yeah. If you were just a guy who lived alone and comedy was all you had, I'd still be like, this is concerning.
Yeah.
You're a man with a whole life and a family.
The kids thing is really thrown off my comedy, like my comedy voice. You know, being a maniac and doing these things, it's like I have children to worry about now.
Right. And it's also a problem that, like, when somebody completely just asks about it, which is totally legitimate, you go, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, but that's fun.
It's fun. I'm having a great time.
Right?
Honestly, this is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life.
That's what I'm talking about. With every moment. That's the Talktown way.
Yeah. So you have 2 kids?
I don't know. Yeah, 2.
Yeah. How old's the oldest?
Oh, God, he's Anthony. Uncle Anthony.
He's 3.5.
3.5. Okay. So he's just starting to get to the age where you might have to explain what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because with the first 3 years, they're just, everything is taken for granted. But at a point, once they can ask, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're going to have to vocalize these things.
Yeah, he knows. He says, my daddy does things that could be misconstrued as racism, but he's just doing a bit.
That's a very advanced kid. That's really great.
My dad is someone who's grown a lot since the last thing that they did, and they're very apologetic for who they were as a person. He just knows a series of statements.
That's great. You're raising him right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild because he's becoming now a person. He's a person now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like last week, we're potty training now. And like yesterday, he took a poop for the first time.
Shout out.
And shout out to that poop.
Yeah.
He got up and he looks at it. He goes, hey, look, Dad, there's your act.
That's funny. That's a good one.
And I'm like, come on, pal.
Yeah,
that hurt. Like, you're supposed to love me.
Right. I'm in this weird period right now where I'm just trying to make things work, and you're not helping at all.
God damn it, man. Just sign up for the Patreon, dude. Anyway,
yeah.
If you want to really get to know me.
I will say that is a weird thing because some of our close friends are Patreon subscribers.
That's a problem.
We don't have a big Patreon pool, and then we hang out with it. That's a very strange thing.
Go on. Because I'm feeling this too, but what do you mean exactly?
Well, because Charlie is a Patreon subscriber.
Yeah.
Our friend Charlie, we grew up with, right? And then we went to our friend Mike's like last weekend, and then we only have like 20 Patreon subscribers, and then Charlie's one of them.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's just a strange thing to be like funded by someone who's been in our life forever.
Funded by this Christmas party.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange.
So Charlie's a guy you've known.
Yeah. Charlie, Taco, Mike, they all subscribe.
Yeah.
And
but
then
you've known him for a very long time.
Since high school. Well, our best friends.
These are your friends from high school.
Andy and I
Well,
just
Greg and I know each other from high school.
We went to high school together. Yeah.
Right, with Joey A. with the sports.
With Joey A. with sports. Joey Oriyama. Joey A. with sports.
Wow, what a pull I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Joey A. knows
Joey A. with
Sam
sports.
Miar? That's right, Roberts.
That's right. No, you nailed that. I'm glad you know my name. It's also the name of the show now. So your friends from high school.
Yeah.
I mean, in one way, it's great that they're being supportive,
of course,
and going like, no, I want you guys to be the guys that made it. You're still doing your thing. You're still being creative. You're still being funny, but also. It's like, oh, we're going to have a Patreon meet and greet. Like, hey guys.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have probably just hung out.
That's the
like,
thing,
you could just come over.
Do you guys want the content or are you worried about us?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you could just you could just send us money.
Yeah.
If you want. You don't need to be an official.
Because it's like we have 20 subscribers, but only 5 listeners on the Patreon episodes. So it's a bunch of people who are just really worried.
Yeah.
You're nice guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that you're funded, though, by people in your life.
It's also a new podcast.
It's a brand new podcast.
Yeah, it's a brand new podcast.
It's a brand new
that we are not promoting. We're snowball effecting this one.
Right.
I've been sharing Instagram story. I'm doing more than I've ever done.
I know. It's wild. I'm very excited for it. This guy, if I make a reel, this guy accepts that collabo within 48 to the week.
That's right.
48 hours.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like to be an Olympic athlete, but I imagine it's like a similar feeling as to what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you're doing it in a professional studio, like you are. You're doing it all right, and it's a great show, and it's got a concept behind it. I love a podcast with a concept.
Yeah. We do abandon the concept pretty quickly in each episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way too high.
I got you. Yeah, that's tough.
No, we don't really.
I feel like if you just get,
No, we don't. The thing that I just said, we don't do that.
Wait. Yeah.
I just feel like if you get back to it, I think if you just get back, if you just even mention it or like the whole thing springs out from there, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just have to tether it to something, and it's like, okay, that's part of the concept or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah. Just like when you're doing a new bit, you'd be like, oh, my dad said he loves abortion, so here's my abortion chunk.
Right. And then you go back to like, we need to connect as people. You know what I mean? You just refocus.
Yeah, that's right. I think so.
Yeah.
Are you having a fun time, Anthony?
Now?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
That's great to hear.
Comparatively to all the other fun times, is this the most like?
That's how I live my life.
Yeah, no, I know you do. I had heard that you had stated recently, Greg, that that you, even though you're a married man, it takes a lot to have you be attracted to a man.
Well, that's because I'm not attracted to men.
No. It doesn't say in my research that you're not attracted to men. It says it takes a lot to have him be attracted to a man.
To get me to be.
Right.
Yes, it's a lot because I'm not there yet. So clearly, it's a lot, right? But I'm working at it.
You are.
I'm going to defeat the system.
You'd like to be attracted to men.
Yeah. We talk about this every time. You know me. I'm working. I'm Christopher Columbus. Yeah. I'm out there trying to see new seas and be places I've never been because I did not like.
You will be in the Hall of Explorers.
Yes,
Magellan, Columbus, and you.
That would be me. That's what I'd like to be. There's so many things he didn't want to. Courage.
Yeah.
Is not doing something that other people are scared of. Courage is having fear and then defeating the fear. That is what I am with sexuality. Defeat the fear, beat your brain.
How close have you gotten?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I fucked a guy. No, I didn't know. Not very, I don't know. It's more, this is what sucks. It's like more.
This is his mind right now. I'm going to be sarcastic about this, except I've gotten closer than you would think. So I can't be that sarcastic about this.
No, let's explain what is happening right now. I've been talking about this way too long.
Right.
And because of that, I'm now getting messages and people at shows trying to fuck me. Right. And it's becoming too much. And I've realized this bit is becoming, I must slow it down.
And then every time we're here, we talk about it again. And so you're on one end going like, well, we got to keep the bit going. This is fun. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
But on the other end, the fact that I brought this up has you concerned.
I'm building a fan base of men trying to accept the challenge.
That you turn down every time.
That I turned down because I'm married.
Of course.
And because I'm not who I want to be yet.
Right.
Which is a fantastically gay man.
Right. This is like if you're Columbus, except all the natives that were living in America got on boats and actually pulled his boat in. Like, get in here, Columbus. We want you. Right. He's like, no, I don't want to do this. This isn't even where I'm trying to go. Like, I don't want to.
I was just trying to ride around the seas.
No. We need you here. We need you here.
Yeah. And that's how a lot of diseases spread it.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm like, I had a guy at the show. I mean, we talked about this on our podcast, but I had a couple of men show up to the show in St. Louis, and you always know, there was like, oh man, big fan, love you, you're so funny, and they go, and then they throw something at the end, and they go, oh, that shirt though, that looks really good. And I go, here we go. I know why you're here. You're not a Rad Dudecast fan. Right. You heard me on Jim and Sam.
Right.
And you think you're going to be the one.
Right.
Even though I am trying, but.
Well, when's your birthday?
June 19th.
Maybe this is the ultimate pleasure that you've ever experienced.
No. I've turned away now.
You're not doing ultimate pleasure anymore?
I've beaten ultimate pleasure sexually. Now I've beaten it. I've beaten it. I've done all of the things.
Can you remind people what the ultimate pleasure is real quick? Just the abridged version.
Every birthday, on my birthday, I do something new sexually I haven't done before.
Right.
And I try to advance the system. I try to beat the brain. For instance, stuff, stick a finger in the butt, watch a porn you didn't do, fuck a bunch of bins, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I put during COVID, I put a fleshlight. Why am I telling this again?
Go ahead.
Into a bunch of bins, and I fucked the bins, and I had VR.
What do you mean bins?
There was a bunch of action figure bins. I had bins full of action figures.
Right.
And the only thing that would to hold the weight of the
action figures were still in the bin?
Yeah, that's
you
why
fucked your action figures.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude.
That's awesome.
So, if I came over your house, I was like, let me see your collection. You fucked them.
the
I would
like an
hate
orgy.
that. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you're like, oh, I want to see these action figures. You're taking them out. He's like, oh, by the way, like, I shoved a fleshlight in there and had sex with it.
Why are all the head sculpts frowning?
Yeah.
We've all been through some shit.
I mean, this sequel to Toy Story is dark.
You know when you're little, you think all your toys are alive?
Yeah. Do you know what they've seen? The horrors that they've seen? No, I don't think I realized that you put your fleshlight in the action figure collection.
Not in the, well, so I had bins stacked up, and I had to hold the weight to hold it down.
So you put it in between two bins.
I put it in between two bins.
You're standing?
Yeah, I'm standing, of course.
I mean, I know, because when I pictured it, you had one bin. It was open. It was full of action figures. You put the fleshlight in, almost like sand, compacts the fleshlight,
exactly
and then you
what I
got
was
on top
going for.
of your action figure collection.
Now,
but you're saying you were standing, thrusting at the stack of bins.
The stack of bins, and then VR goggles. What are we doing? Why? See, this is the thing I always have to fight for, right?
Right, go ahead.
Everyone in this room is masturbating. But you're all jealous.
Not right now.
Not right now. Everyone in this room is masturbating right now. You're all masturbating,
Yeah.
right? But you don't treat yourself.
Right.
You don't go all the way.
Right.
You do it like a sad pants at the ankles. Look at me.
Right.
No. Take the clothes off. Put some music on. Get some sense. You know?
I know you don't
Put
like
on VR goggles and fuck your action figures. That's your idea of what? Elegance, Greg? Jesus Christ.
But again, the action figures was just a weight base. If I had like free weights or sandbags, I'd have fucked the sandbags.
Right. No, it's just because I tell you why I like stopped for a second and got you upset, and I know you don't want me bringing her up again.
Who? My wife? Oh, you bring her up. I love it.
Okay. Because I was just picturing if your wife opened the door to the action figure room and she'd see you because your cheeks would be out. So she'd just see the cheeks thrusting against your action figure bins. And she'd go like this. I forgot it's his birthday.
No, I have like an on-air sign I put outside of my office.
For the alternate flesh.
I flipped a switch, and it's like, we're on the air. You don't come in,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have that for my studio in my basement. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
What a crazy precedent you're setting with your kids. Their idea of what a birthday is
That's right.
going to be so different.
That's right.
From what's
You
expected.
want to get a bouncy house? Like, no, that's not going to be able to maintain the weight of the fleshlight. That's stupid.
One would argue I'm not telling my children about this. And eventually, my new dream now is to do so much content that they can't possibly listen to all of it.
That's the
so
move.
they can't hear this.
That's the move.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the
That is
move.
the
Just
move.
spread it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what's this podcast? Nothing. It's hours of nothing so that my children can't find out about the ultimate pleasure.
right. Like, they'll find the Forrest Gump one.
Right.
And they'll go, I'm not going to keep doing this. Like, I'm not going to keep listening to these shows. And they'll never find out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's smart.
So I will say that because when I had the kids, that's when the ultimate pleasure started to be like, all right, you know, what are we doing? I can't have apparatus around. You know?
No, yeah. Apparati.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had like this body part thing that I had to put in a box.
Torso?
It was a torso that I had to put in a box.
Pelvis or full torso?
It was the boobs and the butt and the missing legs.
Full torso.
Yeah, full torso off Amazon. And then I told Amazon it never came. And then they gave it to me for free. And I think they were
That's the craziest thing about this whole thing, I think, is what I'm hearing right now, is that in the middle of the ultimate pleasure, your grifter brain still wasn't turned off. In the midst of all this, you were like, I bet I could get this for free.
Yeah.
What an Italian from Jersey you always are.
Hey, Amazon, I thought you were supposed to send me a torso. Never came. Never came.
Unbelievable.
And I'll tell you why. Because something else, Amazon's going to be like, oh, he's grifting. They're like, no human would admit to purchasing, let alone say it didn't come.
Right.
Right.
I love this. You got stoned one night and you were like, you realized, wait a minute, this is the perfect thing to lie about and get my money back. This will never work again.
I have no idea
Let me do it.
low I'll go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a free torso to you.
It's a free torso.
That's great.
Right.
That's really nice.
You pay for your torsos like an idiot.
Well, because, and also I hate to add this, but also so I do the ultimate pleasure, but also on my birthday every year, I will buy something from Amazon. One thing from Amazon, and I tell them it didn't come. So I always get one thing from Amazon for free. Amazon gives me a birthday gift every year because I buy enough stuff on Amazon.
Sure.
They go, you give me one thing for free, and I think Amazon should adopt this,
Right.
And be like, we've got enough money. If you're Amazon Prime, you pick one thing every
item.
year, one item every year, and we send it to you.
What kind of price are we talking about with the item that you pick? Are you talking about like an air fryer? Or are we talking about like,
So you want to know?
yes?
Okay. Lowest I ever went was like a action figure 2-pack, right? $24.
Harmless.
Yeah. 4 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
PS5. PS5, motherfuckers.
No.
I 100% have a PS5 that I got, and it was when you couldn't get them.
Right.
So there was like, it went up, I ordered it, and then I called and I went, let's try, you know? And I was like, hey, I ordered this PS5. It didn't come. Should I file a police report? I don't know what I should do. I said too much.
Right.
And she was like, no, we'll just refund you. No, she goes, we can send you another one, or we'll refund you. And I went, you could send me another one. In my head, I was like, well, I'll take 2 PS5s.
Sure, because also if you can't get it, maybe you can sell it for more than you paid for it.
Or
That you know how many torsos you can get with that money? That's all torso money.
or Anthony's best fucking Christmas gift ever.
Oh,
you
and
know,
you-
he's
oh,
gonna
and
feel like
that-
a real asshole.
That's exactly what you do, Mr. Tips everybody. You'd show up and give him a PS5 like, I just thought you should have it. I saw it, I thought you should have it.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this Greg Stone's doing well.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever, and they were like, oh, well, we can give you another one, or we'll refund you. And then they gave me, they didn't have any more, so they refunded me. And I went, okay, if I plug this in, are they going to have the like they're going to
Right, I've got to
track
activate it, got to put my
No,
no.
they don't have any of that.
They got too much.
Also, should I not be saying this on the radio?
It's good that you say it.
Yeah.
This is why I don't trust. This is why it's like
Free
I've never
press for them.
right
Yeah.
for who PS5 or Amazon.
Everybody.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be glad.
So when I had my kids, before my son was born, I was like doing a bunch of things to prepare. And one of those things was I took the torso, I put it in a box, I taped it up, and then I went to a construction site and I threw it in the hole where they were digging for the construction site because I didn't know how to throw it out. You know?
Sure.
It should be a short film. It's so cinematic.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
And I did thank it. I swear to God, I did went, thank you. You got me through a lot of hard times. And, you know, and I said goodbye.
Did you know that this construction site had a hole, or did you just see a construction site thinking, I bet there's a body-sized hole there?
Yeah, no, it was a construction site happening by my wife's parents' house.
Perfect.
So I was like, oh, I know. I'll just go dump it in. I'll dump it up in there.
And that way, if it hits the local news, your wife's parents are the first to hear about it because it's their neighborhood.
Literally behind their house.
Did you hear what somebody did? And Greg's just over there. That's disgusting.
They don't check that for DNA, will they?
They said there was fluid still in it. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
They're not gonna-
It said it had so many. It had bruising on it that came from many tender kisses.
Yeah. There were a lot of lipstick marks on its rib cage.
Yeah, and the back had some kind of Doctor Doom action figure indentation. Nobody knows how it got there.
Yeah. So we're moving on from the ultimate pleasure.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. You got to at some point.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, I'm an adult now. I got a kid. Different pleasures, you know.
I will say that when
Yeah.
you walk by like a kickboxing gym
Gross.
and you see a torso, like a dummy in the window, does a tear come to your eye and you get like a little nostalgic of what was?
I remember her.
I knew one just like you.
Treat her well.
Anthony, was Greg like this kind of always throughout high school and everything?
No, I mean, I
Or did
I
he
don't-
have a sexual awakening?
I don't think it was as sexually open as this in high school.
Yeah.
No, this has been, I'd say, probably like the last 10 or so years. He's
Okay.
been trying to like work this defeat your own biology for the sake of I don't know what. But I've applauded it, and it's weird that I understand the logic of it, where I think a lot of people are like, I think they want to put him in like, so you're gay or you're not gay, and it's just like it gets so much weirder and deeper and
Right.
more intricate than that. Yeah, I really think he's just trying to defeat his own sexuality to open himself up to what making love to a man would be like, even though he would hate it the whole time.
Right.
It's a
But
very
obviously people
interesting
love
thing.
it. So
Right.
the idea that what if you're missing out on something that you would love?
Yeah.
Right.
People have a great time doing it. A lot of people.
Right. Absolutely.
So why would you want to, if you can get yourself there,
Exactly.
why would you not, if there's a pleasure to have in a life, why would you not want to experience it?
Totally.
right.
I
Absolutely.
see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I and this is going to sound edgy.
And if you see Greg at a gig or anything, go up to him, tell him you want to be that dude.
That's also a great thing too, because you might be the one.
Right. You're and you probably are.
You're
Right.
probably not. You're well, Greg. I mean, at one point, Greg did tell me his type. This was years ago.
Go ahead.
He liked.
What's his
do you remember Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl?
yeah.
Specifically in The Danish Girl. If we can get an image of that on the screen, I'd love to see, because I know Eddie Redmayne, obviously, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Did you see him? He's in
Oh, I saw him.
Cabaret?
Yeah.
You saw him in
I
Cabaret.
had to go. He's the one.
It's a very sexually charged show,
But
Cabaret.
I think what you're saying, like an Eddie Redmayne in Cabaret, like
No, I don't like him dressed as a woman. I like him as a
Okay.
man, because then I'm cheating.
But I guess
I see. You're like that's that like loophole.
I like a meek human.
that's what. Yeah, it was more he saw Eddie Redmayne. I think when he was younger, and he was like, "That's my guy."
Yeah.
So a meek, like I don't know, 22-year-old British boy,
A 20-year-old British twink is what you're looking for.
That's what
and
Greg
you
likes.
you want to be the man still.
Huh?
You don't want to lose any masculinity to this
No,
male
I don't care
partner.
about masculinity in any way.
Then why do you want somebody who's like
Well, I
diminutive?
saw him and my body said, maybe that's the guy.
Like you're just listening.
Yeah,
You're
I just listened. I just opened up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's important.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. I love the freeness of it.
So I'll tell you, and this is how it all ended.
Yes.
Right? I will say there's a specific person who I would go, as a man, this is an attractive man, right? Who I see him all the
Chalamet?
time. No, he works with us, and he's an attractive man.
He's a comedian.
He's
Joe
a-
List.
No, I'm not going to.
Here's Joe List.
Joe is kind of my type.
Well, I mean,
skinny bean.
yeah. Tall though. Tall guy.
He's too tall.
Too tall.
Yeah, he's too tall for me, you know. So there's a guy who works in the clubs, you know, and he's a gay man, and he's kind of attractive, and he was like,
Mateo.
he wants to fuck me so bad,
Oh.
and I went, well, and I was like, honey, and she was like, I don't give a fuck.
Really?
And I'm going through
She
all
said
the
she-
steps. My wife does not care. My wife doesn't care about any of that. She's just like, this guy's a maniac. She's like, go do whatever you got to do. I don't really care.
Would she care if you had sex with women?
No, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She knows what I am. I'm a sexual. She
just doesn't care.
She just doesn't care. She goes, I'm the most sexual man who's ever lived.
You are.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, and my wife is a normal person.
Right.
And she knows no human can fill this cup.
I gotcha.
Even better, I think that she knows. So this is what happened, right? I was like, this guy wants to fuck me. And she goes, go ahead if you want. I don't really care. And then I went, I don't think I wanna. And then my body stopped.
You needed the obstacles to say I would
Yes.
if not for. But once those obstacles are cleared out and it's just you.
Yep. And my wife was like, yeah, my wife is calling the bluff.
Wow.
You know? And then I was like, okay, there's nothing holding me back. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know that I want to do this for like so many other reasons.
Right.
Well, also too,
You're heterosexual, one of them, right?
yeah, that's the bit.
Is that the main?
Yeah.
main one. But also the bit ends if
The
you do it, which I think this has been such a fun period of 10 to 15 years of your life where
Right.
you get to go on every radio show and podcast
Yeah.
and hammer this home, and then if you do it, all that ends.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, I did it.
On
Yeah,
paper.
exactly.
It's like
It's like
communism.
that's good for one more good appearance,
Right.
Because it's like, oh, now we got to get the payoff,
Right.
Of course.
But it's like then the next time, oh man, Greg wants to come back in. It's like I don't know, we kind of did it.
Yeah, but it's like communism, like on paper, seems to work.
Right.
But now someone's offering me land. They're
practice.
saying, here's the government. Why don't you try to put Talktown into play? And we go, well, this doesn't work. It
doesn't work.
This
It could
doesn't
never.
really work.
Of course
You
not.
could never.
But
Yeah.
like, not even the gay thing. The fact of like talking to a person, being in bed with you're a woman. It's like, I don't want to deal with any of that.
Right.
I don't want to deal with like, what do you like? Can I make you feel good? Like,
don't
I
wanna
have a wife and I do that for her. I don't have any of the energy for any of the rest of the stuff.
That's right, and you don't have to do that if you're having sex with bins.
Right.
They don't ask for anything.
They don't.
They're there to please you.
They scream in silence.
They do. They really do.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony, I think there is a risk sometimes, when you have a friend that shifts the boundaries of normalization.
Sure.
There are some that go like, well, this isn't the things that I used to consider normal, because now the level of normal, because Greg's a regular guy.
Totally.
Right.
That's nice to hear.
So the stuff that like he makes acceptable, now this boundary of normal has been pushed. Does it put any pressure on you to act out, or do you go, my friend's a maniac?
No, I think it's more the latter. Where I go, my friend's a maniac, and I think I am, but just in a different way.
Yeah, no,
Right.
You're crazier than me
Yeah.
in 50 other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not in the way of fucking bins.
Right.
Sure.
But which
You're
is-
not the most sexual man in the country.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. And I think I knew pretty early on in our friendship. There were just moments of like, oh, Greg is just so horny. Like,
horny a lot.
Yeah, because we were talking, and he'd be like, I mean, you wake up your day, you masturbate the first thing you do, and I was like, what? Like you would never do anything.
That's what I mean about the normalization.
Yeah.
You do this, of course. And you're like, I do not.
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure most people don't.
Yeah. So I think like in that way, no, but then in other ways, I think I'm probably more of a weirdo. It's just not I think in the sexual realm that Greg is.
Well, what realm are you?
I think just kind of everyday stuff. Like, Greg would be it's hard to kind of evaluate yourself and be like, I don't know, because I'm walking through life and going, this seems normal to me.
Well, Greg, you said
but then Greg's pointed out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you said he was crazy. You said he's crazier than you.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not this way really anymore, but like a temper.
Sure.
Angry guy.
Of an insane thing that, like, he's the most pleasant, sweet man until you hit 9 out of 10, and then like it was like
0 to 9 is all
he
the
says
same.
This isn't true, but I have several witnesses that say he, during his young age, bit through the wire of a Nintendo controller.
You did that?
Not true.
Bit through the wire.
Was it
And he
plugged
says
into
it's
the
not true.
system?
Like a badger. That's
Like
not
bit through it in a rage.
Because that rage, to bite through a control, it's very difficult. It has to be lasting. It can't be. It's one thing if you have a moment of rage, you slam the controller, now it's out of your system. Actively biting through the wire.
Like a beaver building a dam.
Wow.
I'll
This
say
is what I heard from 3 of our friends.
3.
this is not.
I believe
5?
them. 5. I believe all of
And
them.
Your sources keep climbing. This is not true.
Also, I choose to believe. I don't care what he says. That image, I don't care. It's way better.
Does it strike you as in character?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm very sensitive, so I think when you're very sensitive, the anger is sort of like, you don't know how to sort of regulate your feelings, especially when you're younger.
I see.
I've definitely tasted a wire. I will say that. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
No, all right.
Biting through the amount of teeth strength you would have to have, and the endurance
Or
you would
rage.
have to have. Sure, yeah, but that's rage you have to keep checking back in on.
You're the
That's a-
Wolverine.
That's
That's
a project.
Sustained 20 minutes of rage.
Yeah,
Which is a long time
That's
to be
a
rageful.
long time, and you pass out, I think, at some point.
I would think just the blood pressure go to your brain. Like, it'd be crazy. Great, your teeth are grinding down to nothing. You're really risking electrocution if it's plugged into the system.
I would have veneers by now. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I did have a drawer that was full of broken controllers. That was just slamming, hurling across the room.
And that drawer
like that
is your
whole
belly.
thing.
Yeah, he eats them. He eats the controllers because he's so mad at them.
Once you have a taste for buttons.
Yeah. But you've tasted a wire, you said.
Yeah, I definitely. I think like in a rage, like, and I think too, like growing up watching wrestling, I think you have a flair for the dramatics a little bit. So I think I wanted to show it wasn't enough to just like throw a controller. I think I wanted to be like, this is how crazy I am.
Right.
And I definitely remember biting down on a wire.
I want you to know something. I've watched more wrestling than anybody I've ever met. I've never tasted a wire. So I don't think I'm gonna let you off the hook with that one.
That's fine,
Yeah.
but I get like, would you, when you guys were growing up, especially like I remember like the Ultimate Warrior and being like, oh, I'm like him. I'm not of the world that we're in. You know what I mean? So it's like you
You'd
kind
be
of
snorting.
Yeah. You build this character of yourself in your mind that's like, I'm just like him. They plucked me out of outer space,
Right.
And now I'm the Intercontinental Champ.
Yeah.
Just like a whole other crazy idea. But
Yeah. No, I see. Like it's almost like it goes. I think it morphed into I'm the center of my own reality show.
Yes.
Now it's more the streaming stuff and everything. But back in the day, it was almost like I'm this space character that you've never heard. I'm not like the rest of you.
Exactly. So you kind of take that on as like, well, this is what makes me special a little bit.
So there's almost like I feel this rage. Not only do I have to act on it, I have to act in ways that normal people would not.
Yeah, exactly.
After all, I'm Anthony DeVito, a.k.a. the Ultimate Warrior.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense. But the temper maintains.
Wild temper. I mean, also like, you just, I can't think of anything off that. I have to think of something off the top, but like Anthony was raised by like 50 women. And so
True.
We're all maniacs, and I love them.
Yeah,
all maniacs.
all of them.
Who missed out on telling him like very normal things. Like I swear to God, when I met him, I don't think you knew how to blow your nose. Like it was like sneezing.
Yeah, okay.
Where
Yeah,
it was
stuff like that.
How do you not know this? And it
Sure.
was like, okay, let's do this.
Women blow their nose, though. How do the
Not
women didn't
these
teach you how to
women.
blow your nose?
They kind of let me run wild. They couldn't get to everything.
How were you raised by 50 women who don't
So-
blow their nose?
They all blew their nose, but they kind of just left me alone. A lot of my childhood, I was just left alone in a basement. And it sounds it
had a lot of video games and toys.
Yeah, it was like
Like that movie, The Black Phone. I don't know if anybody saw that, but the kids were left alone in the basement in that one too.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like left alone to my own devices. So I think there was like a lot of stuff I maybe just was like, oh, I just do it this way. And then when you take that out to the world, and then the world goes like, that's not, who taught you how to do that? And you
Right.
go, well, me at 5 or whatever.
You're like the most improved human I've ever met. Like when we met, driving was a problem. Like there's a story that goes, Anthony was driving and he just shifted into the median and just starts scraping the median. Cop pulls him over. He doesn't go to he stays on the left in the median.
I'm already pulled over to the median. That's where we'll be.
And the cop was like, hey man, do you think you should be? I think the answer is, the guy rolled the window and he went, yeah? What?
Yeah, I was furious.
Like, what? Mad at the cop.
Well, I was so mad at myself because I was so embarrassed. Like this, it all comes back to this like deep sensitivity. I was so embarrassed because there's me, my mom, and there's like 2 of my friends in the car, and I just hit the curb, and I'm scraping the median, whatever. So yeah, the cop.
Is everybody in the car panicking as you're scraping the median?
They're kind of all making fun of me.
Look, you're still scraping the median. What,
Yeah,
you an idiot?
exactly.
Yeah,
Get off this thing.
And I'm still scraping. So
You're still doing it, you big stupid idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So then the cop came over, and now this is just another person to yell at me. But he has like real grounds. So I was so mad.
You've had enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just see what they're saying in here. You want to add to the pile, you jerk?
Yeah.
So I rolled down the window, and I was like, what? And he was so kind. He was so nice. He was like, do you think you should be driving on the highway? And like, I don't know what I said back to him, but it was like, but
It's nice that he recognized that you were going through it. Whatever
He
it was,
really did.
You were going through
he
it.
picked up on it so quickly.
Yeah.
Where I didn't think he expected to see a child driving. I thought he was
Right.
like, I thought it'd just be a stack of books.
Right.
But I didn't think he could see somebody who was a person. I think he was just like kind of startled.
I was hoping AI before AI was anywhere near. I was expecting a self-driving vehicle.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a turtle. Oh, a guy. Hey, should you be on the highway? Yeah.
Yeah. Someone had just had a heart attack. We were hoping.
This is very. Have you seen Punch Drunk Love?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's Anthony.
Yeah.
Is that?
That's 100%.
These are the vibes I'm getting. Like
See
he
that?
kicks through the plate glass door.
Yeah.
Because what were they calling him? K-boy or something like that?
I don't really remember, but I remember watching that movie and I went, this is a movie about Anthony.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, he's very calm, he's very sweet. Then you push him in the line, he gets on an airplane, and he tries to kill a mattress salesman or something.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. And it's
One mattress salesman, Greg. Not a thing to bring up.
and it's all because they won't leave him alone.
Right.
Like if you would just leave
Yeah.
him alone, he'd be the sweetest boy you ever met.
Right.
Yeah, but they won't.
You're not wrong with that. Because that is, it's a raised by all just like very overeager Italian women who were just in my business. They were like, I just wanted to be left alone in the basement. That's really all I wanted.
That's all.
Pretty sure. So another thing is that, Anthony will he will bring basketball shorts to a wedding, right? Because at some point you show up in a suit, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then it starts to
Of
dance.
course he said. I mean,
Yeah, it's time to dance.
Right.
Why do you want to dance in a suit? You put the basketball shorts on. Now, I say is like most people would say that's a maniac, but as his friend, I went, no, this is a better way to live.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't get that.
Mike Cannon's wedding, friend of the show.
we love Mike Cannon.
Basketball shorts were brought. Anthony made me bring them. I brought them. 2 guys not close enough to Mike Cannon at the time.
Sure.
That is true. We were I was a last minute in, but my wife won Mike over at a crawfish broil at the creek. He was like, she's great, and then all of a sudden I was going to his wedding.
Yeah. It was almost like word will get around the club. I better invite these guys.
Yeah.
And so we looked like we did a pickup game.
You put on basketball shorts. Now, are
I
they?
don't think that's weird though.
But are
That's
they like?
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
guess you're
think
right.
that's weird.
Do they match the suit? Like if you're wearing a black suit, if you're wearing like Brooklyn Nets basketball shorts, at least it's still that black and white motif.
No.
They don't match the.
Oh no. These are like orange basketball shorts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you bring sneakers as well,
Of course.
or
yeah.
you wear? Okay, I don't know.
Definitely. No, it's a fair question to ask. Of course. Yeah.
Sure.
No, sneakers. Yeah.
Suit top.
No, just the shirt underneath. Yeah. We just look like an undershirt. Yeah, we just
I
look
can
like.
probably pull up a picture too.
As
Yeah.
you're saying this, I guess it is weird.
It's
But
very weird.
Here's the thing.
But
Here's
it's better.
But here's where you could tell if it's weird or not. When you look around the dance floor and go like, "Oh, I see. I seem to have observed 100% of the other people are still in their suits that they arrived in."
Yeah.
But that's the thing. His energy is such that then other people start going, hey, maybe I'll take my shirt off, right? And then other people
Does
are-
that happen?
Yes. No.
Does it? No.
One guy.
Greg.
Happened to me. You know?
Just Greg.
Yeah. But people like, now the party is so much bigger and people love it. People go nuts. And then, so he's
Did people love that you were in your basketball shorts and t-shirts?
No complaints.
I had no complaints.
Okay,
I
that's
heard no
a
complaints.
That's a huge difference because a minute ago you said people loved it and started ripping off their shirts, and then within 30 seconds it went all the way down to, well, nobody directly complained.
My memory guy is a fucking liar. I have no idea of the things. Usually I just say it out there and someone goes, that's not how that happened.
That's
I
not
go,
true.
All right, okay. I believe you.
Yeah.
Do you have the technology to call Mike Cannon? Call Mike Cannon. See if he remembers.
I mean,
do we have that tech?
I could probably. You want to call him on the phone? That's my idea, was to just put it on speaker.
I mean, I don't know if that's
iPhone, but yeah.
Yeah, let me text him. Let me see if he's around.
Yeah, see if he's around and see if he remember, and maybe he could tell us, because I'll say, like, there are some people. If Troy did that at my wedding, I'd be like, good for Troy.
Yeah.
If other people did it, I go, fuck them. Like, that's disrespectful. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect my wedding.
Anthony's whole life is...
You know what I mean? Like, it
do.
really depends. Because I
wonder.
I think also, like, you can tell a person's intention.
Right.
Did they really do this because they just innocently think it's better?
Yeah.
Or is it like, hey, it's time for the, Greg and Anthony show. We're putting on our shorts.
No.
That's the thing, right? Before I met Anthony, I would go, that's disrespectful, right? But I was like, Anthony, that's disrespectful. He goes, why? And I go, I don't know why. It just is.
Right.
And then I go, well, now I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely in that instance. I wasn't looking to be the center of attention at all. I just wanted to be more comfortable.
Right. You're going to dance.
Yeah. The idea of dancing in a suit is like a crazy concept to me.
Right.
So I just wanted to be comfortable. That was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been at weddings where I know what you're talking about, where someone does a thing where you're like, hey, man, you're not the bride or groom.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
you can usually tell pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
And it feels like if you guys do it, it might be one of those things that you go, oh, this is fun. The guys are having fun. Because I wanted people to have fun at my wedding, but I wanted people to actually be having fun, not try to make it about themselves.
We're boosting the wedding.
Yeah, and
You think it was a boost?
I think it was a boost.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also think it was like a big enough wedding on the dance floor where it was like it would go unnoticed. You know
There's
what I
no
mean?
way that's
Like,
possible.
I wonder.
That's
Yeah.
impossible.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
And I will say, I do believe we may have even asked Mike first. It was like, hey, man, you mind if we put some shorts on? And I think he was like, hell yeah, man. Go crazy. Have a good time.
Yeah.
I think also too, knowing Mike, you're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we'll find out. Maybe it wasn't, but like, yeah.
Right.
Who's to say?
That's the thing I'm learning a lot, too, in my older age, is that a lot of the things we may have done may have not been okay, but we just smiled through it. And those guys were like, well, I like them enough that I'm not going to ruin a friendship.
They
over
don't
this.
know. I think it's always been like, well, they don't know.
Yeah.
They
don't know any better.
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about that in my wedding. Greg found a kimono. Remember that?
I found a kimono?
Charlie's girlfriend, Kat.
Oh, I forgot about Charlie. Charlie's the Patreon guy. yeah.
Kat, for some reason, Kat had a kimono. At one point, you had a kimono on at my wedding.
I also, gave one of the drunkest speeches I'd ever given. Oh, here's a classic Anthony thing.
Hang on one second.
yeah,
Do we
yeah.
have? I can do it. Yeah, can you put him on the air? Okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this right now. Tell me when Mike?
Yo.
Mike Cannon. Welcome, Mike Cannon. It's a pleasure to hear your voice. We have...
It's a pleasure to hear your voice, Mr. Last Man Standing.
That's right.
That's a great name of the show if you want to change
Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Tim Allen.
Yeah, and that went well for him, right? We have Greg Stone and Anthony DeVito that are in studio with us today, and
Unfamiliar.
well, they're talking about some of the things that they do that they feel are better, and they said that like one of the things that doesn't feel crazy is changing into basketball shorts and an undershort shirt at a wedding for the dance part, and they just realized that they did it at your wedding, but to this day they're not 100% sure if you thought that was a fun thing or a shitty thing to do.
Well, one, I appreciate the fact that they think they made it to the dance part. Because that's not what happened
It's
at
not.
all. The ceremony the ceremony was barely over, and I could see the Russell Athletics like grinning out of Greg's suit pants. He was ready to hop into mesh shorts immediately. I got to be honest, dude. I was on so many hallucinogens at my wedding. I looked at it as just completely normal behavior, and everybody should be as comfortable as humanly possible.
I thought that might be the case because they both said, Mike seemed fine with it. So.
Mike was like, "Oh, don't we all do?"
Were you wearing? Is that how you? Because a minute ago you said that you would bring shorts to a wedding. Are you wearing the shorts under the suit?
No.
Oh, like
I'm
Superman.
not. I don't know what Greg is doing.
I'd love to comedically say yes, but no.
Okay, good. Good.
I'm going to see if I can look up Mike's wedding. I know I have photos on here. What was your wedding, Mike? What year?
Where was it? Oh, it was in 2016. It was at where the hell was it? It was in the Catskills at a Full Moon Resort. Wow, but yeah, it was like light out, and they were in like full poorly fitted t-shirts and basketball shorts that haven't seen physical activity in 10 years.
Because they're both of the opinion that there's really nothing wrong with it, and it's actually kind of normal, and it doesn't make sense to dance in a suit, except every single other person that was there seemed to have no problem dancing in a suit.
Yeah, these people.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Mike.
My dad and Nicole's dad were vying for biggest sack of shit at the wedding, and Greg and Anthony came careening off the top rope.
I do remember asking, and you being like, "Yeah, man, you got to go for it." But I'm remembering like, "Yeah, you were on so many drugs."
Yeah,
because we're not.
That should give you an insight into how appropriate anything was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do remember the night before the wedding. The highest I've ever seen anyone in my lifetime was Mike.
The night before?
The night before.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I was like, I don't think you're going to make it back to your own wedding, which is in this spot that we're sitting in right now. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, if you pass out here, we can weekend at Bernie's you if we have to, but you have to pass out right here.
Yeah.
And then you woke up and immediately...
I think I did.
And then when you came to, immediately did more hallucinogenics for the ceremony.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I had to get back to the place I was when I fell in love with my wife.
Yeah.
That's right. That's very romantic. I love that a lot of people go like this, man. You got to live in the moment when you're getting married, because a lot of it you won't remember later. And I go, what? Because it goes too fast. And they go, no, all the drugs, all the drugs that you're on.
Also, could be noted that people didn't realize how many drugs he was on because he had what I like to call the great diversion on the dance floor with two people in basketball shorts trying to do the fucking the worm.
Those guys are fucked up. Huh? I was like, yeah, those guys are.
Yeah.
It was literally Greg, Anthony, and Nicole's non-verbal autistic cousin in the exact same outfits on the dance floor.
See, he's doing it.
And I talk so much, I didn't realize he doesn't talk. I talked like for 3 hours, never let him get a word in.
I had a great conversation with that guy.
He's the only one who got me there. Man, you get me. Then I hugged him and he screamed.
Mike, thank you for bringing some clarification to all of this. And I'm sure
I mention it all the time. I think it's a completely appropriate move, especially if you're Greg and Anthony. Others would have a tough time pulling it off.
Yeah, okay. You think it's a completely appropriate move. Mike, how many weddings have you been to that you changed into basketball shorts and an undershirt?
Not one, but I did turn into. I personally changed into pajamas one Christmas Eve too early and lost the respect of Nicole's entire Italian family.
What? It's Christmas Eve. I thought.
Out of pajamas into a shirt, back in the pajamas. That's great.
Thank you, Mike. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Thank you, boys.
All right, talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Peace.
Okay, so is that a weight off? Do you know that like it's all good?
Yeah, I would never walk him with that weight. It's a recent weight.
Right.
Up until 5 minutes ago, I was like, I didn't even remember that as like a memory, and then I was like, oh Jesus, was that a bad thing?
Yeah. Do you know about?
That's kind of nice.
Just because this popped in my head.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know. Like we best friends now. It's like fucking 25 years later.
Something that's
doing
beautiful.
comedy for 20 years.
Beautiful.
Do you know about Gus Dakota and Suntune? Have I brought this up here?
No, I don't know about Gus Dakota or Suntune.
Okay, so when I started doing comedy, I don't even know. Help me on this story. We went to go do karaoke once, and Anthony said, "Hey, I got a box full of shit. You want to do characters, right?"
At karaoke.
At karaoke.
Okay.
So we went to this karaoke place. I had a fake mustache, sunglasses, a headband. Anthony had his hair parted to the middle, like pedophile sunglasses.
Sure.
Members only jacket.
Sure, pedophile jacket. Yeah, I got it.
You know what I
So
mean?
he's kind of going for a motif.
Yeah.
And I think I wore a shirt that I like drew on. It was like a white V-neck that I drew like a dinosaur with a pyramid behind
forgot.
it.
Oh,
And it
nice.
just said religion.
Religion. Yeah.
It was just like all character.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so we, it'd be fun if that was one night.
Right.
This is about 6 years.
You did it for a
So
long time.
We went.
Yeah, a couple of years, definitely.
Same costume.
Same costume, character, backstories.
So
Wow.
we would go up to do karaoke, and the guy would go, ladies and gentlemen, he's like, all right, Gus Dakota, you're next, right? And Anthony would run up.
You're Gus Dakota.
I'm Gus Dakota.
I
oh,
was
you're
Sun Tzu.
Greg is
Gus Dakota, and he would wear a denim jacket, a fake mustache that we use 3M spray mount to get on my face. And I'd
Wow.
be so fucking high, and I wasn't even doing drugs back then.
Oh yeah.
True.
And it would hurt so bad to rip the fucking thing off.
Because that's for like walls. And
It's for
stuff.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for walls.
Yeah, that's your upper lip. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Sure.
Excuse me. And then, so Anthony would, you see the guy was like, Gus Dakota. And then Anthony would run up, grab the microphone, and then he would redo the intro. And he would go, ladies and gentlemen, the Sultan of Swing,
Right.
the King of Music, blah, blah, blah. Your King, Gus Dakota. And then the music would already be playing. And then he would be like, restart the music. And then I would go, we would do songs. And then
What songs would you do?
Neil Diamond. And if anyone else did Neil Diamond, I would threaten to fight them.
You would.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing.
Okay.
Because Greg does a really good Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it was like right in his wheelhouse and like Gus brought more swagger to it, but it was like that was perfect.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like I have a picture right here because I just ran into it. I saw a picture of it when we were dressed up like these idiots. So we would do these things, and then Anthony went to college. He went away to Miami. We were in college at the time.
No,
Was it in Hawaii?
this was Hawaii, Paris. So this is after college. So I think we started doing this very briefly because I was back in town for like a summer after graduated college. That's 2005. And
Right.
then I moved to Hawaii in the fall of 2005. So we do it a little bit. I move away. I come back like spring of 2006, somewhere there.
Yeah. So we do that, and then we were just doing karaoke. I wasn't drinking at the time. I don't think either of us were drinking.
No.
Yeah, we didn't drink yet, right? So
No, I was, yeah. Okay.
You were drinking?
Yeah, I was drinking a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I was drinking yet. I did comedy and bombed so bad that I was just going to do karaoke 5 nights of the week. Just every single night, I would just go up and down as Gus Dakota.
Right. Because you're not going to bomb there. You do great Neil Diamond.
Great Neil Diamond, and people would just look and they go, "What the fuck is happening? Why is this man in a fake mustache here?
It didn't
Is
fool
this
anybody?
real?" No, it would fall off.
It was horrific.
Yeah. So I had quit. I had worked at a job at TGI Fridays, and I had quit. I was still friends with the manager.
Oh, cool.
I'm telling the story about how we're doing like these characters, blah blah blah, and he goes, "That's so funny." And I went, "Hey man, do you think I could pick up some shifts? But this guy needs some money, right?" And he was like, "First off, you sound way too desperate." No, I'm kidding. He was like, "Yeah, pick up some shifts." I showed up to TGI Fridays with the Friday shirt over a tweed blazer.
Oh.
Wearing nunchucks. I had a picture of a bear. I had nunchucks on me, fake mustache, sunglasses, and he goes, "So I guess I got Gus Dakota." And I went, "You fucking AAA right, brother."
Right, and you're deep in.
He changed my name in the system, and I showed up once a week for about 6 months to a TGI Fridays in Wayne, New Jersey as Gus Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah,
So were you like kind of flirting with the idea of just like living as Gus Dakota?
because I got to be me
Right.
when I was him.
You can grow a mustache.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Also, that spray mount was really fucking my lip up.
Yeah.
Well, I also thought this was the funniest joke when you worked that stint as Gus Dakota at Fridays. Greg would go up to tables and offer them food that wasn't on the menu. That was like, he would be like, "You got to try the Reuben."
The Reuben.
And he could never get the Reuben.
I think Reuben sounds great, and then I'd come back and go, "Well, they're saying there's no Reuben, but that's what they're just saying.
You're saying this doesn't exist.
I think we put it in and see what happens.
And you were constantly asking if you could smoke in here.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the
I
character.
spray mounted a cigarette to my mouth.
What?
So that when I talked,
right.
the cigarette would move with the thing. And I, hey, can I smoke in here? And they were like, I am a customer. Just say these crazy things.
I love the idea of the FBI raiding Gus Dakota's house and the way they found all that baby oil in P. Diddy's house. It's all spray mount. It's all 3M spray mount in Gus Dakota's house. Everything gets sprayed on.
And this guy, Derek, I always remember Derek, D-Rock. He was the
Nice.
sweetest guy. He was the best. I went as Greg after a shift, I'm sitting at the bar having like a drink or something. And he goes, "Hey, yo, G-Man, you got to see, we got this guy Gus working here. I don't think he's real." And I'm like, he has no idea. It's like, that's me. Like,
Right.
that was me, man.
Right.
He was like, he's like, mustache is fake. It fell off. I saw him put it back on. I don't know what's happening with this guy. But that's like, we wanted to do comedy so bad, but we weren't doing comedy.
Yeah.
So it was like, we just did all this other shit that was
Right.
just way more.
And this was no filming.
No
We're
film.
just kind of
Yeah.
just doing this for us.
For
you know,
yourselves.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you had, I was gone, but you met a girl at a party as Gus.
Yes.
And then,
I met a girl at a party as
Right.
Gus Dakota. She hooked up with me.
As
And
Gus.
I did not leave character. And she just could be like, it's so funny. I love it. Blah, blah, blah. We made out. She becomes my girlfriend. And at the time, I was doing this documentary called The Glorious Mustache Challenge. This is before mustaches were a thing, right? There's just no one had a mustache.
Yeah.
And the idea was, hey, grow a mustache and we'll see how people react, right?
That's
So-
documentary.
yeah.
Okay.
how quaint was the world?
Right, right.
Oh my God.
Didn't do very well. It did. But I grew.
I think it might, I don't know, the snowball effect. It might still pick up.
This might be the thing that pushes it. So I grew the mustache for the documentary. Was also the time I was dating this girl. So then I'm dating her. Documentary ends. I shaved. She broke up with me. So I, to this day, believe she only liked Gus.
Gus.
She didn't really like
Have you
Greg.
thought at all about bringing Gus back?
He's me now. We've become one.
Is that right?
I think that is right.
Yeah.
I think Gus enabled. Gus had so much confidence, and
Right.
that I think a part of that rubbed off on Greg. The Greg that we know right now, is
Right.
Gus. There's a little bit of Gus Dakota in there
Wow.
that wasn't in there prior.
Yeah.
Wow, Gus stayed.
Gus
Gus stayed. He needed
Yeah.
to come out.
Yeah.
He needed to come out, and I'm glad he did. And he's
Wow.
still there a little bit.
You needed Gus Dakota as much as Gus Dakota needed you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's co-driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's 3 people in there. Me, Gus, and the guy going, "You should just kill yourself."
That third guy, it's like, who invited you? What did you show up for?
Why is that for everything?
How does Gus feel about the third guy?
Gus, shut up, you fucking dumb idiot. You know?
Yeah.
And regular Greg is like, hey, he's like, I don't know, Jimmy, how's this radio show going? I don't know. We should just kill ourselves on air. It'll be fun. And Gus is like, shut the fuck one of them. Not gonna be any chicks in here. Yeah. Yeah,
Well-
we did that together. We were just going different places.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember us going to a strip club in Troy, New York.
Oh no, it's my favorite moment of you
Yeah.
ever in my life. He's
that?
dressed as this character. Do you still do the voice?
I don't even remember. Well, the voice was like a very like effeminate kind of like. Hey everybody, kind of like that. Yeah, something along those lines. I was like, oh, welcome, the Gus Dakota show is about to begin.
It was an effeminate immigrant from a country you would never know.
Right.
So you never knew where he was from
Yeah.
because he when Anthony shaves, he looks like you have no idea what race he is.
It's yeah.
So he had he had this hair part in the middle,
Nice.
and the greatest moment, the funniest thing I've ever seen you in my life is this stripper is trying to get Suntune, and both legs show up are around his face, and all you see is vagina, Anthony's face, and in between them a bottle of Axe body spray sprays himself in the face, maces himself, because he would just walk by women and go hello, and then spray himself, and they go, oh, what the
Right.
fuck? It was just too much.
Because in my head, Suntune is like an immigrant who does, but he still wants to get laid, but he doesn't know how. And he sees
Yeah.
an Axe body spray commercial, and he goes, "That's the ticket."
Like American culture is like,
exactly.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
keeps an Axe body spray on him at all time in case a woman walks by. He can spray himself. So yeah, and
You were there, obviously.
I was there watching.
Did you know
Well, I
that
was
he
there.
was
Gus was there.
watching?
I mean,
Are you doing it to make him laugh, or are you just lost in this character?
I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think I'm this is true to what the character would do right now, and then also I think this would be hilarious for Greg to see.
Right.
So I think it was a bit of both.
And then at the end of the night, would you be would you kind of come down and go like, what did we do? Why did we do all that? Or
I don't think we ever questioned it as
Sure.
much as we were just like, that was the right thing to do. I think we always thought we thought we were handling whatever age.
is this?
Yeah, that's them. I mean, that's us when we brought it back, so it wasn't fully there, but that was like 80%.
Oh wow, wow! I'm looking at a photo. Oh yeah, okay. So Gus, what's Gus's last name again?
Gus Dakota.
Gus
You
Dakota.
fucking dribble A right.
Yeah, he's got a really cool "fuck you fucking fuck" T-shirt on
yeah,
that you
sure.
see at the gift stores here.
Yeah.
Nice little bandana, and yeah, I see Anthony. Like you do have the beard here still, but you do have your hair is slicked down.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
got
was
the
horrifying.
short shorts.
Yeah.
yeah.
And yes, this is when we did a Christmas album,
You did a Christmas album.
which I forgot. We did a Christmas album one year. where
We did that
We
for
tried
the
to bring it
Rad
back like 5 or
Dudecast,
for the Rad
right?
Dudecast years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was crazy. But I mean, it was like one of the funniest things. You just like, because women would walk by and he'd smile like, hello. And then they'd go, huh? And you go, like immediately spray himself. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's so funny, man.
It's so interesting though, because from the origin, it feels like you guys are just like there's something in your DNA where a performance is just for the sake of the performance,
Well,
which
this
is
one's
probably why it's so difficult for you at this point to go like, no, we have to tell people we're doing this thing.
yes.
And it's much more Anthony and your instinct to be like, no, bro, we just do it to do it.
Totally.
Right.
And I don't have the responsibility of 2 kids. That's
Right.
really
That changed.
That's the main difference. Is like I'm just happy with this existence. You know
Right.
what I mean? The people that like us, able to make a living. That's great. And Greg is like, I have these 2 children at home.
Now.
I have to care for. And yeah, that's a difference.
I have them now.
Right.
And it's like I have to start making, I have to start attempting to bring
Right.
money home.
Yeah.
Or else I have to go work at FedEx. You know?
That
And
is
I'll say
true.
this-
At a point, like once you have kids,
Yeah.
all the silliness, if you can somehow rope it into, well, I'm providing for the family through the silliness, you can keep doing the silliness.
Right.
But if you're not providing for the family with it, it's like, if Gus Dakota isn't providing for the family, he's not allowed to exist anymore because it's like, this is a total waste of everyone's time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's like, so what'd your dad do for a living? Oh, no living, but he was a man, another man sometimes.
Yeah.
Who would do
Sometimes he
karaoke?
puts on a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why aren't you hanging out with your kids right now? Oh, because I'm just like walking around as this character that has no sort of viable anything.
Right.
Well, see, that's the thing too about our relationship that I always come back to. That was, I think, I feel so bad for the comedians as we started comedy together, but I only ever did things to make him laugh,
Sure.
and he did things to make me laugh. And so, like, other people would find that funny, but it was like we weren't trying to make them laugh. So it was like, oh, well, fuck it. But now it's like, hey, man, we gotta try to make other people laugh. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it works. It works in stand up because they're right there, so you have to adjust yourself based on you're seeing
Right.
them every night.
Yeah.
So like but with the other stuff, yeah, we've been less compromised
Sure.
on that, which is
Yeah.
good and bad, I guess.
We will be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back. We're back. We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
Well, Dean Del Rey is joining us. What's up, man?
Hey, dude.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I had to piss. Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize for pissing ever. Not to me.
I'm in that. I'm staying up in Harlem, so it's like I'm collecting bathroom codes. Because once you leave there, you got to find places to piss.
Yeah,
you know?
no. That's one of the benefits of being here.
You gotta
We
find
allow-
a Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Is Barnes and Noble a good
Always
one?
piss. Oh, they always got bathrooms that are
I
clean.
found a new one right there at Union Square. They get that dumb bank, Capital One, opened a cafe.
Really?
Capital One Cafe. And I go in there, and I'm like, no way are they going to have in this area
Yeah.
of the street creatures, are they going to have a public bathroom? And they did. I got the code. It's 523 if you want to go in there. 523, everybody.
Who puts a cafe in a bank? Like, who's sitting there going, I'm just going in for banking, but I really like to spend the afternoon here.
Who's using banks?
Who are you going to the bank?
Go into the bank
Right.
with your grandma?
Yeah, no, I don't remember the last time I actually stepped foot
Yeah.
inside a bank.
I just thought about it. I had a landlord for years. only took checks.
Like written.
Yeah, so I'd have to go get 12 a year, at the bank. And I was like, come on, dude, Venmo.
Right.
No, they hack in there, the
hacking.
government, all that. It's like, dude.
Yeah, because the government can't track checks.
Yeah, at all.
No way. No
Insane,
way.
man.
Yeah. I also think that's. Can I get 12 checks, please? 12 books? No. Just 12 checks.
12 checks. That's
all
what
I
I did
need.
every year, because in case I wasn't going to be living there at the end of the year,
Right.
I didn't want some checks laying around. God. And then you got to write them out, like old cursive.
Right.
Your signature.
Your signature,
and
the memo. You got to put a memo.
The long thing of 1,800,
Yeah, and it hurts more because you're writing out, and then you got to write it in like words.
Yeah, to this fucking guy.
Right.
Who doesn't fix shit.
Nothing.
Oh man, I had a cracked sewage pipe in the laundry room, raw sewage.
Oh, in the laundry room.
Yeah, and the guy came to fix it. He goes, "I'm just going to give you a heads up. I've been coming here 7 years. This guy is not fixing this. There's roots down there." And I was like, "All right, I get the fuck out of here."
Where was this?
It was in L.A. And that was when I go, "I'm moving to New York."
So
that's going to be bad.
So are you here now? Are you living in New York?
I was here for 4 years,
Yeah.
and I went back during COVID because I was like, I need some fucking mountains and ocean and air.
Real life.
Yeah. During that time, it was just weird. 5th floor. I was living in Gramercy, just up in the 5th floor in this box, thinking people were eating each other down on the ground.
It really was. I felt like New York during the pandemic it's a city built for paranoia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there is nothing like whenever anything, because everything is piled into this city.
Yeah.
So whenever anything's going wrong, all it takes is one thing to go wrong and everything's going down. So you're just waiting for that first domino to tip.
I can't even believe how long ago it was now.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Like I was at the Sphere last Saturday,
What were you seeing?
Dead & Co.
That's cool.
And I was like, just think just a few years ago, it was like, fuck no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You got to have a card.
Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
You're going to be with people? Now it doesn't, you wouldn't even think
Nobody
of it.
even gives a fuck. People are coughing. They don't go like, ah.
Yeah.
No,
nothing. They can say, oh, sorry, I have COVID. That's fine.
Yeah.
No
man.
problem.
Different times now. Back to normal.
It's a wild thing. Are you still living in LA?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like New York and LA. I had an apartment here, and I would come and do the cellar for 6 weeks or the stand, and then I'd go to LA just back and forth to get the material going and see what was working and what wasn't working on both coasts. And then when COVID hit, I couldn't afford that apartment. I wasn't working anymore, so I was like, I subleased it, and the guy kept hitting me up like every few months. Hey, man, are you coming back? And finally, I was like, just take it.
It's yours.
Yeah, it's yours. Fuck, man. It was a good apartment too. It was like a loft.
You miss it?
I don't miss the fucking stair. Like, at first I was like, I don't need an elevator. I'm fucking 50.
Right.
And then every week when you're traveling and you come home with your luggage, you're like, fuck this.
You're exhausted. All you want to do is crash.
Oh, yeah, man. One time someone stole my keys at the terminal. What? Yeah, I had like a keychain on the side. I don't know. I was walking home, from a long road trip.
Yeah.
Got to my door and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, just want to go to bed.
And what do you have to do? Like call the landlord? Locksmith.
Yeah. $250.
Just to get into your place.
Oh, yeah, man. I was fucking steaming.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I live in the suburbs. People try to convince me that the city's great. There is nothing appealing about living here.
I love the city. Man, if I had money, I'd be Upper West Side, just old Dean, walking around the wide streets with pigeons and a Whole Foods. Fuck, yeah. It's a different world up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have money, you can make it work here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to my buddy's house up there, and I was like, oh, well, this is just different, dude.
Yeah, totally.
There's no fentanyl up here. You know what I mean? They don't have fentanyl in the Upper West Side.
Yeah, meanwhile, it's everywhere in the other neighborhoods. Like, it's in the sandwiches. It's everywhere. You can't avoid it.
It's in the subway, for sure.
Well, Dean, you got a new special, 5836. It's out now on Patreon.
Yep.
So it'll be on your YouTube channel on April 17th.
Correct.
But You can get it right now on your Patreon, and you can get it all through DeanDelRey.com. And this is your first special?
It is. 15 years in, finally did a special.
I mean, I kind of love those stories because it's like every now and then, like, people have been doing comedy for 3 years, and they're like, here's my first special. And you're like, you're not, I don't know if you're ready for that.
Well, Attell told me something really fucking smart one time. I think I was like 10 years in. I go, God, nobody's given me a special. He's given me.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what, man? I didn't do Skanks for the Memories for 15 years. Because when you put something out, that these days that shit's out there forever and people will just judge it, or you judge yourself like, oh God, that's so dumb. Mm-hmm. I did that. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Clip and put it out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was like kind of naive, like, all right, I'll get this hour going and then shoot it. And then no one came around. Then I put another hour together. All right. No one's coming around. So, a few months ago, I realized, oh, fuck, if I die right now, I have no comedy out.
Yeah, people will say he was a comedian. You're like, I guess, if you say
15 years, I don't see shit.
Yeah, I'll believe you, but
So that put a fear into me, like, all right, so, I found this cave in Tennessee called the Caverns. Uh-huh. And I was touring with Bill for the last 2 years. We were doing arenas and stuff. So the material was ready to fucking go. And
yeah, I saw you in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And so I meet this guy, Todd Mayo, who built this venue inside a cave in the middle of Tennessee. And I was interviewing him on my podcast, Let There Be Talk. And he wrote a book called Caveman Chronicles about how he built this fucking thing. There it is right there. It's unreal, dude. It's unreal.
Wow.
So I'm talking to him on the podcast, and mid-podcast I go, look, man, I have to do my special there. And he goes, we've never done comedy. We've always wanted to do it. Let's do it. So I talked to Bill, and Bill goes, fuck it, let's do it. Bill produced it and financed it. And
that's amazing.
Oh, God, yeah, man. He literally is the savior. Nobody's given the 59-year-old unknown dude a fucking special. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. Like, what? No,
That's awesome.
So we shot it. Marcus Price directed it, who just did the Keith Robinson one.
Uh-huh.
And we had no reference. I couldn't call someone to go, hey, what do the laughs sound like in there? Does it sound like shit?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you don't even know how does it echo against the cave walls? Does it disappear? You can't hear it? Like,
you're spending all this money.
Yeah.
And what if you step on stage and you go, oh, we got a serious failure here?
Yeah.
So.
Even like you, they've had mics and stuff in there before, but the way you're speaking now, the way that your tonality resonates, what's that going to sound like in a cave?
Well, the big thing of a room with comedy is laughs.
Yeah.
Do they die immediately? Do they dissipate up in the ceiling because it's too high? Are the people too far away and you can't really feel? There's so many weird animals, but coming out of doing that arena tour with Bill, you get used to any kind of arenas are weird. One's incredible. One's echoey, like blah, 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 so I was ready to do whatever, let's do it. And if it sucks, we'll just laugh and put it out. Like, this was awful, but it's in a cave.
Yeah.
You can look at it. Apocalypse Now. We'll AI Brando in the corner eating bugs or something. We'll do some shit.
Yeah.
And I stepped on the stage and the first I riffed on it, on the cave, and the crowd laughed, and I go, oh, it's fucking on.
That's awesome.
I could just tell right away. And I kind of choked up for a minute. I was like, I waited 15 years. I was just like, so, oh my God, it's happening after 15 years.
But that's so great too that you can make it yours. You know what I mean? Like, make it feel like this is, it's like its own vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I played music 25 years, and you get these people that come down to the studio. You're working on a record or whatever. They think they fucking know. And it's the same in the biz. You know, you go, I'm going to do it in a cave. And they're like, no, we're going to go with this comedy club over here with this brick wall behind you. This is what we do. And you're just kind of like, no, I don't do that.
Right, the plug and play special.
Yeah, I like David Lynch.
Yeah.
I don't like fucking reality TV. You know what I mean? So... to be able to do it. And then the funniest thing was I was kind of naive when it was finished. I was like, oh my God, this fucking thing is insane. We're going to show it to Netflix and Hulu and HBO. They're going to be battling for this. Just when you see the opening credits, and we didn't even get a call back.
Well, that's nuts.
Hilarious, dude. Like, this is, if I was the owner of the streamers, even if I didn't even like the material or anything, I'd go, just buy that, because they're going to click on the thumbnail.
Because it looks crazy.
Oh my God, it looks fucking crazy. When it comes on, every comic I've ever showed it to, they go like this. Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Because you're doing a show in a cave.
And it's got we got a crane in there. It's doing these kind of sweeper shots.
Wow.
So it literally looks like, I haven't been to Mars, but it looks like Mars.
You would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you think Mars looks like. The 7 photos they show you every time. Here you go. Look at it right here. You get the intro.
Oh, man. Look at that. And it does look, honestly, it looks like Mars.
It is fucking insane.
Yeah. Because you see the whole roof, the way the sweeping camera comes around. You see the whole, top of the cave.
Yep.
You see how, and you're right, I see what you mean, but, it's a pretty low, it's not a high ceiling.
No.
Which is great for, the laughs and everything, but also just a great visual that you really are tucked into this cave.
Oh, man.
And it's all, lit red and stuff like that. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, Marcus went, the week before, the director, because he's all, I got to go look at this fucking thing, because I've never directed in a cave. So he got out there, and they did a bunch of different lighting tests, and I chose this lighting as soon as I saw it. We had, blues in there. We had natural, where it just looked like Adobe, which was kind of cool. But this one looked the best against my pasty white skin, and it also reminded me of a Dio Holy Diver video. Sure. He's coming out, Holy Diver! He's got the sword, So, and then here's the craziest thing, Sam. I didn't know where it was, so I'm thinking, it's right outside of Nashville. It's an hour and a half outside.
Oh, no.
So as we're driving out there, I go, where the fuck is this? We're driving by hillbilly snake-kissing churches, and I mean, it is like shacks. It looked like Deliverance where we're at. And I go, who's coming out here?
Yeah.
But both shows were sold out.
I mean, yeah, the cave looks packed. Are they people that, is there in that area, are there people who love comedy? Or were they people driving an hour and a half?
It's a 70% destination venue.
Wow.
So I've done Red Rocks with Bill, and they say that's a 30% destination venue, meaning people go just for the venue.
It looks
Sphere.
amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this one, 70% of the people are coming in. So we had fans come in, and they have tents and cabins out there and yurks. And you can fucking stay out there all weekend.
Whoa.
Yeah, so people are out there partying, after the shows, they're out there campfires and drinking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You have a lot of outdoorsy fans.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, also, I'm from Yosemite, so this really matches me.
Yeah.
The Mountain Dean,
Yeah. Were you raised in Yosemite?
I was born and raised in Yosemite until my parents divorced, but my dad worked there for years, so did my grandma.
In the park?
Yeah, and then my mom worked at the Ahwahnee. Yeah, I was born and raised there. It's fucking wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that? So was it like a culture shock when you get out of Yosemite and start getting into cities and stuff?
Yeah, then San Francisco after. So you're just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
They didn't have any, 1966, I'm born. So let's say 67, 68. There's no TV in Yosemite.
Wow.
There's no fucking TV out there. The rabbit ears, you get one channel. There was no cable. We didn't even have cable back then, but you get a little bit of radio. So you're really fucking wilderness boy.
Right.
Just hiking and ice skating. My dad ran the ice rink. and that kind of shit, you know? And
Yeah.
then you move and you're like, whoa, I soaked it up. I moved. I was like, oh, wow.
That's because I guess you either feel like totally at home or a complete fish out of water.
Yeah. There's
Right?
a
It's one of the
girl-
two.
A girl I grew up with, Johanna, her parents ran the horse, horseback place.
Yeah.
She never left. So like I'd see her years later. She just mountain girl, you know?
Have you ever thought about going back? Like,
Not to live, but I didn't go back for a long time because I was there so long.
sure.
When I finally went back when I was around 20, I go, what the fuck am I running from here from? This is incredible. And now, I ride motorcycles there from LA all the time or drive out there. I mean, to me, it's absolute. If I didn't do comedy, I may have become like a ranger or whatever just to be in there for
Sure.
especially in this fucking climate
Yeah.
of America. But I wouldn't have a job now because they've taken all the money from
That's right,
the
from the
park.
parks.
So I'd be jobless right now.
Yeah.
But and I'd be fighting people trying to drill for oil and shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, I mean, no wonder you felt caved in. I mean, for lack of a better term, no wonder you felt like during the pandemic when you're stuck in New York.
Yeah.
It's like you're hardwired to
Yeah.
kind of at least somewhat be in nature, right?
Yeah. And my mom was like a hippie, and thank God because she really championed me. I mean, I started comedy at 44, dude. And I call her and I go, yeah, I'm going to try some stand-up comedy. And she's like, excellent.
At 44.
Yeah, it's not like, well, you never got married. You don't have any kids. And you're a weirdo. I said, no, man, anything.
great.
I played music 25 years. She was at all the gigs. And then comedy, when I did Conan, she's running around the retirement home. Put it on. I'm out there doing dick jokes. But she was just amazing. I lost her a couple years ago.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was awful. So I'm bummed that she didn't get to see this, but I dedicate the special to her.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what year did you go to San Francisco?
Well, my parents divorced when I was 6, but I still stayed in the park because my dad and my grandmother lived there, so I'd be there long periods of time.
Sure.
So all summer, Christmas, those kind of vacations and shit. So I was really bouncing back and forth for years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I was really in there. And I think once I turned around 15, I was like, I don't want to go to that park,
Totally.
But
That's when you start to appreciate the city and
Yeah.
everything
Well,
that comes
music
with it. Music.
and
yeah.
girls. There's no girls up there, there's like 3 people you go to school with and stuff, what I
That's
mean?
it.
Or even friends, You
Yeah.
start meeting your friends. That more than girls or anything, it's your friends. Like, I got my buddies. We
Yeah.
ride BMX bikes and, trash shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because
Light
what else
shit
is
on
there to
fire.
do?
Full Beavis Butthead mode,
So how do you make the call, 25 years in music,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, time for a change, but you don't get a real gig, you go to comedy.
No, here's what happens. I play music for 25 years, and then the illegal downloading starts to kind of happen, and you can see your money dissipating, right? It's
Right.
just like, oh my God. I'm like a middle range musician, Dean Del Rey, have records out, but I'm touring, grinding, opening for people like Wallflowers or Black Crowes or Lenny Kravitz, that kind of stuff for a long time.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, really good making a living for 25 years, and then it just starts to fade away. So at a period of my time on the last tour I did, I was like, you know what, this is kind of going to be it here. And I got home and I just stopped playing. I didn't tell anybody. And then I was like, I got to find a job. I never had a job for years, and I needed health care. I was really like, at that time, like, oh my God, I have no health care. And so I got a job at Harley Davidson selling
cool.
motorcycles because I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was there for 3 years, just slinging bikes, collecting diabetes, just eating fucking garbage.
Did you get
and-
fat?
Oh God, yeah. You're just unhappy. Like, I'm really happy I left music.
Right.
Right. God damn, this is way better. And all of a sudden I was like $1.90. And one day the Quentin Tarantino's people came down to the dealer and they go, we're
So
gonna
is this Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're filming a biker film called Hell Ride, and we need an advisor on it. Would you be an advisor? And I go, oh, fuck yeah. And from that, I landed a role in the film.
That's sick.
Yeah, from that movie, I landed a role in an Ice Cube film.
Which one?
Called The Long Shots. It's the Keke Palmer, first girl to ever play Pop Warner football.
Sure.
In that film, there's 3 comedians. Garrett Morris, who I grew up on SNL.
Of course.
Michael Collier, and Earthquake. And we're playing the roles like in the bleachers. You know, when you're up there like, looks like she got it in the nuts. You know, you're saying dumb shit. But I started talking to them and I was like, yeah, I always wanted to do comedy. And they're like, dude, you're too fucking old, you know. But after a while, Earthquake pulled me aside and goes, I think you could do comedy. When you get home, hit open mics. I go, what the fuck is an open mic?
You didn't know, you had no idea.
I don't know shit about comedy. I grew up on it. I loved it. I loved Cheech and Chong. I love Dice Kinnison, and then later Seinfeld became someone I loved. Then Chris Rock, Chappelle. So I always loved comedy. And I went down to the Comedy Store, the patio, and I signed up for the open mic, 44 years old.
Wow.
2006, December 9th. And people are looking at me like, who's this fuck? I was only 44 then. I'm 59 now. I look old. Back then, I was fat. I didn't look old. But to them, they're like 22, 23, playing video games and smoking weed. So I signed up and, man, I took the fucking hazing. But in 3 years, I was one of the fastest people to get passed as a paid regular there.
Well, do you think that there's like, at 44, if you start then, the one benefit must be
Life.
Right.
Right.
There's a finality
Yeah.
to it. You're not an invincible 20-year-old.
I got stories.
Right.
I've lived.
Right.
I've toured. Those guys were like hazing me, and inside I was like, these fucking idiots.
They haven't done anything.
I've been around the world.
Right.
I worked for the Rolling Stones for 4 years. I didn't say anything.
Sure.
Because I just took it. I didn't even tell them I was in movies, because then it was really frowned upon if an actor tried to do comedy. There was all these dumb gatekeepers, you know, these are the rules. And it's like, fuck you. You want to smash them.
Yeah.
You literally want to smash these guys.
Yeah.
But you don't, because you're around them every day, and eventually they become your family. And you realize these guys are freaks like me. We're in this Comedy Store that at the time is a goddamn ghost town. It's not the behemoth it's been the last 10 years.
Right, because
there's no one there.
It's before the big
I'm
resurgence.
telling you, fucking no one.
Wow.
You couldn't even get on stage till there were 7 people in the crowd, and sometimes you'd just be sitting around waiting to go on, and then they go, 7th person came, and the first comic would get on. You know?
Wow.
Open mics, empty.
Wow.
Just your peers in the back going, that joke sucks. And it was brutal. And I'll tell anybody right now, anytime they try to send some kind of negative shit my way, I go, yeah, you don't even know what I've gone through, dude.
Yeah, I've heard it all.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is my 41st year on stage.
That's crazy. What were you doing for the Stones?
I was like their VIP host and DJ. I ran their VIP parties. 4 years. Supposed to be 2 weeks. Turned into 4 years, dude. It was wild.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I've had this kind of Forrest Gump life, and I grew up poor. I've never had anything, so I have to. I'm ugly. I'm short. I'm not the industry's darling. At all. I seen openers that open for me, go right by, get a special 2 years in, but it doesn't bother me because I'm working in an incredible industry with some incredible people, and in this time that we're living in right now, if you're not doing what you love, you're out of your mind. Because, man, we could be gone tomorrow.
100%.
100%, man.
I mean, do you think about that sometimes where you're like, at 44, I'm sure you had a ton of doubt. And the fact that you're 59 and, like, not only still doing it, putting the special out, like, ultimately, it is one of those things where just the fact that you're a comedian, you are a comedian is that's the victory, right?
Dude, I worked with, in the last 2 years, hands down, the biggest comedian in the biz right now, Bill Burr.
I mean,
there's no fucking bigger right now.
That's what I was thinking, right? When you were listing the comedians that you were into, going right up to Chris Rock, it's like Bill's on the list.
Oh God, yeah.
Like he's
You
in
know,
the GOAT conversation.
And the great thing was, you know, when I met him, he wasn't the mighty Bill Burr.
Right.
You know what I mean? You always get those people, you're on his coattails or whatever. You're like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
I've done literally 6,010 shows. 200 are probably with Bill. You know what I mean?
Like, do you keep track of every show?
Everyone. That's why the special is called 5836. That's what set it was in my career.
Wow.
5,836 set of my career that day.
And you write everyone down?
Everyone in my phone since day one. Because I thought I was going to do comedy for a couple weeks. And when I write a book later, this will be my comedy chapter.
Yeah, it's going to be one chapter.
That's what it was going to be.
Right.
And that Comedy Store bit me so hard. It was like fentanyl. I got in there and I was like, oh, this is what I should have been doing all my life. You know, I mean, and the Comedy Store at the time was empty, so I could really figure out who the fuck I was without the industry watching.
Sure.
And we were these freaks, you know, it was like me, Gerard Carmichael, and Tony Hinchcliffe, and Melissa Villasenor, and Tony Baker. All these guys that have risen up and became Punky Johnson as SNL.
Yeah.
All these people, we were in there every night when no one was there. And we were frowned upon. They'd be like, you're those Comedy Store comics. When you'd go to another club.
Oh, really? That was a
Yeah,
negative.
then when it got hot, they'd be like, oh, you're a Comedy Store comic. The door would open. But back then, it'd be like, oh, look at these dirtbags. We were like the Sweat Hogs.
Really?
Yeah, we were.
Just because the Comedy Store was not happening.
It was known as a freak shop, drug addicts, drunks, weirdos. It was heavy duty hazing and you know what they call now bullying.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of bullying down there.
You survived it, though.
Fucking thank God there was bullying because it makes you want it.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, fuck these guys. I'm going to get good.
And then as the Comedy Store gets hot,
Oh, it was so weird.
You're just sitting there and the vibe just shifts.
It starts to happen. It's a perfect storm. Everybody always says, oh, it's because of this guy or that or that. Fuck no. It was a combo of 5 things. Mm-hmm. First one, Maron's podcast started getting big.
Sure.
Okay? He had a monster podcast. It wasn't a monster podcast when it started.
There were no monster comedy podcasts when it started.
I've been podcasting 12 years.
Right.
800 episodes. He was just doing it, and he was doing it because he had nothing.
Right.
But it starts to get big, so he's talking about the store all the time. Then Gerard Carmichael, Ari Shaffir shoot specials in there. Mm-hmm. So now you're seeing it on TV. Then Netflix starts to get fucking big. It's no more mailing the DVD shit out.
Right.
It's comedy specials and people are seeing it. Then podcasting starts to ignite and everybody's talking about comedy. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you know, Rogan comes back. Burr starts to get big. Ali Wong starts to get big. And all these comics, Sebastian Maniscalco, he gets big. And it's all like this perfect storm. And then LA is like, we got to go fucking hang here. So you're down there and it's like Francis Ford Coppola in the fucking crowd or Brad Pitt or whatever. Every night, somebody still right now.
And is there something about like when you're performing at the store and you see those faces? Is there a comfort to, but this is my room. Like I've been in this room when there was nobody in it. Like
100%.
you're in my home.
It does not faze me at all. And the arenas didn't faze me. None of it fazed me because I was going on in there to like 6 people that were drunk and it was just nothing going on, you know.
Even your first arena show wasn't like, whoa.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because of course you've never done an arena.
Yeah.
But if I fully believe, if you believe in the material, whatever happens. If the material is good, you know, you got to get them somewhere. And I feel an arena's easier than 20 people in the OR at the store judging you like, oh, we were hoping that Chappelle was going to pop in. And they're just looking at you with the arms crossed.
Right.
It's like, dude, you paid $20. You know what I mean? What are they fucking looking at? But,
there is something to that, right? If you pay top dollar for a ticket to an arena to see comedy,
They're ready.
you showed up to laugh.
There's no check drop.
Right.
There's no drink orders.
Right.
It's dates. They're there. They love the headliner.
Yep.
They're willing to give you a good 5-7 minutes to see if you can get them to laugh. And then after that, they'll just fucking turn away. So you've got a leeway.
Has that ever happened before where you can't get them in the 5 to 7 and you're like, fuck?
Well, the one thing about the arenas that is weird is people are still coming in.
Sure.
When I'm on. So you got a lot of movement and a lot of drinks in the hand. Yeah, I'm always amazed how everybody that comes to arena must order 2 beers before they sit down.
Yep.
Like, dude, you're an adult. I can't go in there without these fucking
I need
beers.
these 2 beers.
And they'll sit in the fucking... Bill will be coming on. They'll say, I got to get these beers. It's like, dude, you just paid for a ticket. I got to have these beers.
I don't care. I need my 2 beers.
And then mid-show, they got to piss because they had their fucking beers.
They drank them both.
Yeah, and then they get up mid-show. Now they're missing Joe. It's, oh, man.
It really is. Yeah, I got to get 2 beers so I don't have to get up during the show.
Yeah.
I got to go piss.
Yeah, and they can't piss in the cup like they're used to.
Right.
You know, like old Iron Maiden concert. I'll just piss in this cup.
No way. Club
Nope.
Soda Kenny will see you from a mile away and
Oh,
grab
yeah,
you.
no. Where's the security?
I sat there at the show in Connecticut that I saw in the hockey arena there. Club Soda Kenny is so amazing because I was sitting there and we were just catching up, just talking in the audience before the show started,
Yeah.
right? And it's not like he had his head on a swivel. He was looking right at me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's no phones. You know, everybody puts their phones away.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I didn't even see it. His head just jolted. Like there was something went off.
Yeah.
And he saw somebody way across the room with a phone, and he just goes, "Excuse me," and goes all the way over there. He brings security with him, and instantly found that one phone, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And then he's back, and he's like, "Anyway," I
Yeah,
mean, he's
man.
incredible.
Oh my God, he's like the fucking bionic man.
He really
just like
is.
doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Just fucking laser vision.
Yeah,
Balcony, 5th row, cell phone, get him.
yeah. It's amazing to see him in action. So, how did you and Bill connect originally?
This is a funny story. I was only about 6 months into comedy, and this buddy of mine, Jay Davis, goes, "Hey, you got 20 minutes, right?" And I go, "Oh yeah."
Of course I do.
Fucking-
It's always yes.
Sure. And he goes, "I'm doing a NASCAR corporate gig in Arizona. There's a NASCAR race and they want a comedy the night before." And so we're in the hotel room and he's like, "So who are your favorite comics?" And I go, "Oh, I love Norm Macdonald, you know, because I loved his special. It had just come out right around the time I was starting comedy. And I was way into Norm. And I go, "How about you?" And he goes, "Oh, I like Bill Burr." And I go, "I haven't heard of him," because I hadn't heard, you know, I hadn't
early.
seen him at the store. I'm
Yeah.
only 6 months in. And he fired up that Philly rant.
Of course he did.
So he's showing me the Philly rant, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? This is killer.
yeah.
And so we do the corporate, and the Monday night, I'm right back at the Comedy Store in the hallway, and Bill rolls in. This is my first time I'm seeing him. I go, "Oh, man, I just fucking saw you on the Philly rant." And, you know, he's not the giant star yet, you know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, man, yeah, yeah." And I go, "Oh, I'm Dean Del Rey." And he's like, "Oh, cool." So we're talking for a little bit. And I'm like, here's somebody my age, you know, because everybody there.
He's a
You ever
kid.
watch that show, Louie?
Yeah, of course.
Remember the manager? He looked 9. Yeah. Remember that?
Yes.
And I was always like, why does the manager look 9? Well, you realize as an older comedian, everyone looks 9. So I see Bill, and so we're talking, and I showed him a picture of me and Axl Rose, right? From 88.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Whoa, man, what?" And so we started talking. We hit it off over AC/DC and music.
Sure.
And from then on, we became friends.
That's
And
awesome.
He was like, "Hey, you want to go do?" We'd go do some little gigs together, you know?
Because you just like hanging.
Oh, yeah.
You're a good comic. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and became really good friends. And he's like my best friend. He's my mentor now. He's the greatest guy I've ever met in the business, hands down.
That's awesome.
He's, I mean, when I got ran over on my motorcycle, hit and run from a
When?
meth head like 7 years ago. And I was laid up, broke ribs. I couldn't move.
Like, he was in a car?
I
or
was, she was in an Escalade.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she carjacked an Escalade.
What?
Yeah, methed up and ran me over on the highway. Yeah, I've escaped 3 deaths in the last 10 years, like diabetes, motorcycle crash, and my mom passing away, just trying not to kill myself.
Yeah.
So he was coming over with food and then these T-shirts because I was just oozing out fucking, I had my whole body was road rash. So I'd wear a T-shirt for about an hour and throw it in the garbage.
Oh.
Because it was just coated.
Pus and blood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was bringing over these, and then he this is going to sound fucking, he baked me a pumpkin pie.
What a guy.
Yeah, he brought over a pumpkin pie. He's all, eat this. I ate the whole thing.
That's it.
But yeah, man.
Of course, he does something sweet, but he's still got to be Bill Burr. Eat the pie.
Yeah. But, he's just been there the whole time.
I wish people knew that. I don't think anybody realized that Bill Burr makes his friends pumpkin pie when they're injured. I mean,
he did a
he's
video
sweetheart
of him
a guy.
making pies.
What a sweetheart of a guy. You're ruining his reputation.
We went around the United States the last couple of years, and literally, like, I think it's the only friend I've never had a fight with.
Really?
Yeah, it's just wild.
That's nuts.
It's just, and Kenny, it's just the 3 of us. These guys got these entourages, these big arena tours with DJs and entourages and private jets, and we're just, here we are, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
They're always looking around like, anybody else? Nah.
No. But it's so much better, dude, when you're just around a couple guys you like to hang with.
The best.
The best.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, like, this is, and also, there's almost like a truthfulness to it, because this is how we came in. This is why we came in. Like, why change it?
Oh, man, it's just what it is. It's like we're either at the store or we're here.
Right.
Or the cellar or the stand. That's really the truth of it. For me, I just want to get on stage every night. That's it. When I can't get on stage, I start to freak out.
Was that that's how you've done 6,000 sets?
Yeah. And no manager, no agent.
Nothing.
Yeah, I got a manager now up like 6 months ago, but no one would touch me. You know what I mean? They just don't understand how to work. They're like, how is this guy going to pay my mortgage?
Right.
I have 2 Beamers. My kids want fucking, new everything. I don't know how to work this guy. It's not like they want you to build it and then they come.
They just want to, yes.
And I'm looking for a Peter Grant type of manager who's all for me. And, like.
That's rare.
Dave Becky's probably the only one, And I had Becky for a while, and I cut him loose because I was thinking, well, Becky was amazing. He goes, I'll manage you, but I'm not going to be able to do anything for you because I'm swamped. But you're going to get shit on your own because you're such a driver. And when you do, I'll go in and get all the money from them for you. But after a while, I was thought, well, fuck. Maybe I need a guy that can really, try to find some stuff. And that was a bad move. Because later I was like, hey, Dave, just kidding, man. Huh? He's all, nah. He took it personal. I was like, you didn't even do anything, dude. You fired me. He said it every time. I killed at Madison Square Garden. I go, what do you think now? You fired me. And he's rock and roll like me. So I was like, come on, let's do it.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, it's all good, though. I talk to a lot of comedians and I go, what's your manager do? And they go, absolutely nothing. Every one of them says the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much of it is like
you.
Yeah. And you got to build it. And that's just what it is. And ultimately, once you do.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will come knocking.
That's it, man.
Everybody comes knocking once you build it.
Yeah.
Like that's how it goes every time. How'd you meet Axl? Like, what was the picture of you and Axl?
Well, I played music for years, so I was heavily in the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was around those guys early on when they were starting to ignite. My buddy Howard Tiemann played keyboards with them, before Dizzy Reed and stuff. I was around all those guys. I used to book a super popular club in San Francisco called The Stone, and I toured, and I was the same way I take on comedy is the same way I took on music.
Right.
24/7, all day, all night. Let's go see music. Let's write music. Let's play music. Let's live music. And that's how I do comedy.
You play a little bit of everything, or?
I play singer and guitar player.
Okay.
And eventually, I got a record out on iTunes, Dean Del Rey. It's heavily Tom Petty, alt country, kind of Wilco vibe. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, man. There's a guy, MJ Lenderman, right now.
Okay.
He's fucking blowing my mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's also great that like you can be so immersed with a culture, whether it's music or comedy, and maintain a fandom for it.
Yeah.
Because that can be tough.
Yeah. Well,
You know-
I think you become what I call a hair metal tumbleweed.
Okay.
That's what I call those guys, where as soon as you talk to them, they're like, there's no good music anymore. And I'm like, oh, you stopped living at
Right.
like 17.
Right.
You know, they're thinking back to the day when they were getting BJs, there's
Yes.
no mortgage, they're doing coke off a Camaro hood. That's their life stops then.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm always searching for the new. I'm always panning for gold. I'm looking for new music.
You
I'm
have to be.
I go see not Spider-Man shit, but movies.
Yeah.
I go to fucking galleries. Oh, this guy's gay. He goes to galleries. But you know what I mean, man.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to immerse myself in art, man.
Well, it's weird because like you grow up with people around you that think everything like, oh, back in my day, back when I was a kid, and then everybody, you're like, that's never going to be me.
Yeah.
And everybody reaches this point where you're like, oh, I like what I liked in high school the same way they liked what they liked in high school. And you almost like, you reach this fork in the road where it's like, okay, I can either be aware of this and consciously go start looking for new stuff,
Yeah.
or just relive the cycle, become the same guy and the same guy and the same guy. And you see it, I mean, so often people just go like, nope, I figured out what I like and that's what I like.
Well, the really weird thing about it is they don't really care about music. It's just a soundtrack to their good memories.
Totally.
That's
It's
all
so
it is.
nostalgic.
You know what I mean? Back in my day, Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you know? And hey, and I get it. You get married, and you get a job, and those things aren't important to you anymore. I understand. But to me, it was always about, you know, I started music because I loved it. I started comedy. I didn't think I was going to be doing arenas. Comics weren't doing arenas when I fucking
Totally.
started. We were doing a rundown comedy club on the Sunset Strip
Yeah.
that was looked at as a fossil like me in the industry. You know what I mean? Like these fossils found each other, you know? And I just don't. I mean, there's a guy right now. I don't know his name, but there's a popular Instagram that I love called Don't Tell Comedy, and they do these secret pop-up shows, and they record these comedian sets, and they put up little sets. There's a guy. I think he's like fucking 80, and he did it a couple months ago, and he exploded on the internet because he had great fucking jokes.
Yeah.
And you're looking at something going, this guy's old, and now the industry is like, oh shit, well, let's give him a Netflix deal or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they don't understand, you know, that somebody that truly loves what they do, they don't understand that. There he is right there, okay? This guy is a fucking killer.
Andy Huggins,
Yeah.
king of one-liners.
Yeah, and he's
Started
fucking
walking
great.
towards the stage 3 comics ago.
And look at the kids, you know?
40 years ago, when I started doing stand-up, everyone told me it was a great way to meet women. We'll see.
It's just a funny joke.
It's just great, you
I
know?
joined a dating site for people my age called Carbon
He's
Dating.
not in the algorithm.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. But there's also something I think that is like there's something that you have to love about seeing somebody like this.
Yeah.
Who just the dream never dies.
That's
it's
like
just
me.
this right.
You know?
Exactly right.
I think that people love the underdog.
I do
And,
too.
Like when I was talking to Netflix, I go, do you understand what's going on with this special here? I didn't get to talk to them. They didn't call me back, but we talked to a guy there.
Okay.
I go, started comedy at 44. Okay, you've got all these stories. Played music for 25 years. Became a paid regular at the Comedy Store and the Cellar. Josh Homme did the intro music on a special from Queens of the Stone Age. It's shot in a cave, first special ever shot in a cave, produced by the biggest comedian right now, Bill Burr. These are massive stories that 90% of the specials they're shooting right now do not have.
Sure.
Now, I'm not knocking the comedians or anything. I'm just saying people buy stories.
Right.
They go, oh, I got to see this. This guy fucking started at 44. I love it. He went for it, you know? It's
Yeah,
in a
totally.
cave. He likes music, whatever. You have to have something that people can grab onto. You're the underdog, and then you make it, and then they go, fuck that guy. You know?
that's it, yeah.
I'm trying to get to the fuck that guy level.
That's all any of us need to get to is
Yeah,
the fuck that guy.
that's it.
Everybody loves like all you want to do
Yeah.
is get successful enough that they tear you down.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's two things you want. Like, he's gay and he's a hack. Those two things, because
That means you've made it.
That means you made it. You're like, oh fuck, I'm in the thing now. I'm in the thing. This guy's forehead's big or whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Have you written a book?
No, I want to though.
I mean,
Yeah.
You
I
know.
want to write 2 books. I want to write my life and then I want to write a kind of a self-help go for it book. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's the move, right? Like
Yeah.
to write kind of your story,
Right.
And then once that's established, be like, okay, this is kind of what
This is how it happens.
charges me up. This is what
Yeah.
motivates me.
Yeah,
This is,
yeah. I mean, you know, there's people that need Tony Robbins dudes out there, but they maybe don't gravitate towards him. I'm not trying to say I'm like that, but I like to tell my story because it's pretty fucking wild to go for something in the middle of your life. Now, look, most people don't do it because they got credit card debt,
Yeah.
and they have a fear of failure
And families, right?
and families.
All these responsibilities,
Yeah.
but yeah, that fear of failure.
Yeah.
I think it only builds and builds and builds over time.
Fear of failure is the number one thing. They're like, how did you do it? It's like, well, fuck, I mean, I didn't really fail because I went and tried it.
Right.
Not trying it is fail.
That's the failure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Because then you just sit there for the rest of your life going, maybe I could have. There's no answer.
When I got hit on the motorcycle, she hit me doing 70. I was flying like Superman down the freeway off my bike.
dude.
And as I landed, I started sliding on my side. I go, she's about to run me over right now. I could hear the SUV. And the thing that came to my brain was no regrets. It truly came to my brain.
Like
And
in that 1 second,
that
you were
is
like,
the
I think I'm going here.
there is no fucking lie to that. No regrets. And then I got lucky. Her tire fell off and she spun the other way and she didn't run me over. And I was just laying there like, what the fuck just happened?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I mean, did it give you peace to know that, like, in that moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because that's where the truth's going to come out.
I'd done it all that I'd wanted to do.
How long was the recovery for that?
Fuck, a long time. It took a couple years to, like, about 6 weeks for the road rash, but about a year in, my disc popped out and I collapsed in a grocery store. Thought I had a stroke. Then I had to have neck surgery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you
And
still ride?
I don't now because
Yeah.
I can't have a helmet or a backpack. I ride with Bill when we're out on the road somewhere mellow, no one around. You know, the mountains, like we rode through the Colorado Rockies. Ducati hooked us up with it. I know the CEO, and he's like, come on, I'll give you guys some bikes. And Bill was like, no way.
Oh.
And we rode to the Shining Hotel.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dude, we had lunch out there. We're on
Oh, my
Ducatis.
God.
We're like, this fucking rules.
Paradise.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, good times, man.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I know you didn't grow up in Yellowstone. Do you know about Yellowstone Park at all?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Are there really volcanoes under that ground? Are those volcanoes going to blow?
I've never been to Yellowstone, actually, which is weird. And
Yeah.
I've been to all the parks, Zion and all that stuff, but I haven't been to Yellowstone.
Because ever since I was a kid, that's what they said. There's volcanoes under Yellowstone.
That was Yogi Bear's joint, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Dude, like, you're just so old. I'm going to get a picnic basket. So simple back then.
It really was. And now everybody's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Is that even on anymore?
No way. No way.
Oh, there's
yeah,
some
see,
volcanoes.
Yellowstone National Park sits atop a super volcano.
Wow.
A massive volcanic system. And but they've said, I mean, I remember hearing about this as a kid.
Wow.
And it absolutely terrified me that at some point there could be a supervolcano under this Yellowstone Park.
How is that not a band name?
And it's supervolcano.
Supervolcano.
It's active. A plume of molten rock that rises beneath the park creates one of the world's largest active volcanoes. And we can see evidence all around us in forms of geysers, hot springs, mud pots. But do we have any information on when this thing is going to blow? No. I need to know. Okay.
Well, we're not near it, right?
No, I guess not.
I mean, isn't that like Montana or
yeah, I
some
think
shit?
it's Montana.
Yeah,
I think it's Montana. It's pretty far away.
Good, dude.
All right, good.
You got to worry about some other shit around here.
Okay, the average time between super eruptions, because I'm not worried about the little eruptions, I'm worried about the super eruptions. The average time between super eruptions at Yellowstone, is about 725,000 years. So as long as the last one was at least 724,000 years ago, we're good. We're good to go.
Yeah, how old are you now?
I'm 41.
You're just in the suburbs worried about the super volcano.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
that's my life.
Dude?
You know, I guess life is pretty good.
Holy shit, man.
That's my concern.
Oh, my God. I never heard of that, ever.
Yeah. Oh, I heard about it. It's been plaguing me for a long time.
You know, it's funny.
They say it's extremely unlikely that it's going to blow this year. So,
good.
All right.
Yeah.
So that gives me peace for the next few months.
Yosemite, they got that half dome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I went and hiked it during COVID. I hadn't hiked it in 30 years. I'm fucking in shape.
Yeah?
Right? Oh, yeah, I'm in shape. I go to the gym every day.
That's great.
Because I had diabetes and I got rid of it. Like, I lost 40 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And I hadn't done it. I'm in shape. You get to those cables. They got the cables. You go up them. Have you seen it? Get a picture of it. Half dome cables. I'm telling you, man.
In Yosemite.
Yeah, it's one of the most incredible hikes ever. And there it is. So there's these cables. Yeah. So you see, there's the cables up there. Right there. So you grab these cables. That's the view when you get up there.
But they're like cables.
They're cables to hold on to pull yourself up the side.
It's so steep.
Oh, dude, a few times a year, people...
They go.
Yeah, they do not make it back.
Whoa.
But there, here you can see the cable. See, there it is.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Troy?
No.
You would not?
Absolutely not.
You did it?
Oh, many times. My grandmother did that. Rest in peace, Alice.
Wow.
She did
What a
that.
lady.
Yeah, when I
What a
was a
lady.
kid, she'd be like, let's go hike Half Dome today. And you'd be like, oh, all right. As I did it as an adult, I was like, how the fuck did she do this?
Wow. Is it freezing cold up there?
No, they only let you do it from the spring on.
So it's kind of nice?
Yeah, it's nice because it'd be too cold and slippery.
Gotcha.
You know, but you got to start at like 5 a.m. because it's 8 hours. It's like 4.5 hours up, 4 hours down. But
yeah, there's not like a slide or something to get down.
Yeah, well, I was Bill flies helicopters.
Yeah.
So I was all, Bill, just let's cheat and we'll just land on the top up there. You
Take
know
a
what I
photo.
mean? Yeah, for sure.
Take the chopper down.
Yeah, that's my dream to have Bill fly us up there, you know? Because he's never been. I'm like, you gotta go, you know? But
Bro,
yeah.
you guys riding bikes to the Shining Hotel I'm still thinking about it.
I can't even tell. Have you been there?
No, but I mean, I'm just picturing that opening, like the opening.
Yeah, the drive out.
And seeing the road on the thing. And I mean, I love.
Oh, dude, it's like, we're riding these Ducatis that this guy, Jason Chinnick, he's the CEO, and he's become a fan of my comedy. I do this great club in Fort Collins called Comedy Fort. I'm going to be there in June, everybody.
Great.
So he comes down random, just a fan, because he lives in Fort Collins. And he goes, man, you're fantastic. I'm a CEO of Ducati. I go, oh my God, dude, I fucking ride. I love Ducatis. I own 2. And he goes, come up to the house. I go, all right, he got this fucking, like mid-century that he built up on the top of the mountains in Colorado, and motorcycles and 4-wheelers. I go, oh, dude, I would never leave my house right here.
Never.
No. People are like, if you win the lottery, you'd still do comedy, right? I go, absolutely not. I'm not. Look,
No way.
I fucking love it, but I'm not a dummy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's disappearing, Dean.
100%.
Zero internet, no internet.
Disappearing into the mountains.
No fucking social media.
Nah.
You didn't post at 9 a.m., so it didn't go into the algorithm. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
These older comics that have been doing it like 35 years.
Yeah.
They're so lucky they didn't. Back then, you just did Carson, and then bam, you blew up.
Good to go.
You toured clubs for years. Now you got to make a clip, and then you got to do a podcast, and then you got to get a guest for that, and then you got to make another clip at 2.
And then get big enough to wait until somebody makes a YouTube channel dedicated to how much you suck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that fucking and you know these people that just these monsters that do like podcasts. This podcast sucks. It's like without podcasts they would be nobody. You know, there'd be no content for them.
Yeah.
It's
It's
which, by the way,
amazing.
I've stopped calling it content too. You know, like
Just because it's such a wide net.
it means shit.
Yeah.
That's what that means. It means you don't fucking care about this at all. It's just content.
Content.
Fuck you.
Just fill the bucket with whatever you got.
Oh my God.
It's big slop.
There's nothing worse when you go into a meeting and they're like, well, we got to get some content going. I go, oh yeah, fuck you. This special is not content.
Right. It's a comedy special.
It's a comedy special,
Right.
man. It's fucking means the world to me.
Yeah.
You know, I put a record out in 99 and I went and listened to it. I hadn't listened to it in years, and I listened to it while I was hiking a couple weeks ago to put the song on the end of the credits, one of my songs.
Yeah.
And so I'm listening to it, and I go, you know, this fucking record, for me, I don't care what anybody says, I love this record. And it took me back right to 99, where I was in my life, starving in San Francisco, paying for this record, you know, eventually getting it done, and Linda Perry from Four Non Blondes finding it and signing me.
She's awesome.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's like a champion of early Del Rey. So same with my special, man. It's, you know, you go out, you work, and you make something that you're proud of. So when the internet shitty people come and they go, this sucks, you go, yeah, no, it doesn't. You're not going to hurt me because
Right.
I fucking love it.
Well, you can see 5836, the Dean Del Rey special, right now on Dean's Patreon. It'll be up on YouTube on April 17th, but check it out now on the Patreon. You can go to DeanDelRey.com for all that info as well. He'll be in Austin at the Paramount Theater April 17th and 18th. Then you're going on to Fontana, California. You're going to be at Solana Beach.
Tom Green tour. Tom Green and I
Oh,
toured.
that's awesome.
It's
We
gonna be
love
great.
Tom.
Oh,
We love Tom.
Old friend of mine.
Yeah.
And talk about an original
Yes.
right there. He was way before anybody podcasting. Fuck that. He goes TV show in his fucking mansion.
Yeah.
And daily, every day
Yeah.
he was doing his own TV show.
Yeah.
And I would host when he was on the road. Hey, take my show. And I fucking had a TV show. Like,
Yeah.
I was
His documentary that he just did is so good.
that guy is one of the best original, you know, do-it-yourself guys I've ever met. He is the blueprint.
Yeah.
He knows everything. New electronics come out, I'm on it. You know, COVID, give me a Sprinter van, tour around America and shoot a movie.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore, yeah, I'll marry her. You know?
Yeah, whatever you got.
Whatever. Dude. He fucking did it.
We will be right back with Sam Roberts Show. You're back with Sam Roberts Show.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be more and more nostalgia dipped into because Paramount Plus, and this is smart. Like when you're talking about trying to get a streaming service popping in 2025, it's difficult now. Everybody's got them. You know, that's why I think Discovery and HBO, they created Max because it's almost like you got to put as much as you can all together. You know, Disney Plus bringing all the Hulu stuff over to Disney and then combining with Hulu and ESPN and everything. It's tough. Peacock's got WWE and The Traitors and The Office.
Peacock still has WWE?
Pay-per-views, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And The Library. But they have WWE, they have The Traitors, and they have The Office.
That's pretty much all you need.
I'm going to tell you right now, I spent quite a bit of time on Peacock based on those three things. But I'm always rooting for Paramount Plus. I got all the streamers. And I'm always rooting for Paramount Plus to find something, you know?
Just something.
And then it's like, oh, we got this deal with Showtime. I go, oh, great, I'll watch Yellow Jackets on Paramount Plus. And then they're like, oh, good news, we also license it to Netflix. I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, I was on Netflix anyway, so maybe I'll just watch it here. But I think the Paramount Plus niche might be hitting all of us 90s babies with as much classic MTV content as possible. Like, Troy, if I told you, and they don't, so this is just an idea that I had, but if I told you there's a streaming service that had all the old episodes of The Grind, you'd want that streaming service, yes?
100%.
No, that would be so bad for him.
Why?
Well, he'd be at home all the time and having confused thoughts.
You're
about
on
Eric.
record saying you're trying to get less boners.
And
That is true.
And you're also on record saying that you had confused thoughts watching Eric Nies.
That is true. You're right.
So no, that would be awful.
Okay.
But I also think it's tough because I think that the rights, MTV was so heavy in using commercial music, obviously,
Yep.
that I think the rights situations on some of the music is a little sticky.
Oh, it would be impossible to get The Grind on streaming.
Right, because I don't think that they were signing deals in perpetuity for the music rights.
You see how long it took to get Wonder Years on DVD?
Because Joe Cocker didn't want to sign over his shit.
I think it was a little more complicated than just
That's
Joe Cocker.
Just Joe Cocker. Yeah, they were just like, let's use every iconic song from the era. And they were like, hey, do we have all this in perpetuity for home video release?
Huh? What's a home video?
We weren't putting out shows on home video. We
I mean, that show literally was released on DVD like the day everybody stopped caring about DVDs.
Yeah. I didn't even get it.
Yeah.
Like it was over by that point.
Yeah.
And they didn't even have the Joe Cocker version of What Would You Do If I Sang Out of Tune. I believe that's the name of the song.
It is. You got it.
And I think that's too why Paramount Plus never uploaded all of the seasons of The Real World.
Which just annoys the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Because when Paramount Plus first launched,
I'm gonna tell you. You know what? I told my wife this. It burns my taint. That all those. I
didn't know it was that
I knew I
bad.
was gonna get you. It burns my taint. I'm sitting there. What's the one thing I wanted to do? I wanted to watch 8, 9, and 10. I believe I wanted to watch Real World Las Vegas so I could see Trishelle get messy.
okay.
I want to watch Real World 9 so I could see Tech and Ruthie just get messy. And I want to watch Real World 10 Back to New York so I could see The Miz taking shape.
Real World 10 was Back to New York.
Of course. Did I get 9 and 8 right as well?
9 is
Hawaii?
New Orleans.
Fuck. I'll watch New Orleans. That's Julie.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
It's
and
Julie,
that
that's
weird
what's his
Mormon
face.
kid. Yeah. No, I'll watch that.
That's this girl.
Okay. Then where was...
Thinking about 8.
What was 8?
8's Hawaii.
Okay, I was definitely thinking about 8 with Ruthie and Tech.
Ruthie's the drunk, right?
Yeah, she got drunk. She had a real problem.
Yeah.
Real problem. And then
7 is Seattle. Goated season.
Oh, I need Seattle because I got to see Irene go, you know why we could never get married, Steven? Hey, Steven, you know why we could never get married? Because you're gay.
Oh, I'm gay.
And then definitely like a regular heterosexual would do, he open hand smacks her in the face. Then it must have been later. Maybe it was like season 11 or 12.
All right.
Because I got to see Vegas. They're at the Palms and Trishelle is getting messy.
I remember.
I got to see that.
That's why you got to watch Trader season 2.
Trishelle is on it?
Yeah.
Wow. I need that. Chicago. I don't
11
know.
is
I don't know anything
Chicago.
about that. I'm not interested in that. Go to 12. I guess. I mean, now we're getting.
You sound like Irene.
There it is. Nah, there it is. That's
Yeah,
season
Vegas,
12.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you know how I know? Because the guy on the thumbnail for season 1,
Yeah.
he it was him and a bunch of cool muscle dudes, and he thought that he was also one of the cool dudes, but he was not that cool of a dude. So all the girls liked the other guys, except nobody liked him. He was like the Travis of the real world.
Why is it gotta
You know
be
what I'm
like
saying,
that?
right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Me, you, and Mike are just hanging out and being awesome.
Being awesome dudes.
Yeah. And Travis is like, me too, right, guys?
I thought
we were like, no, Irene, not you.
Man, you guys really did stop getting polite.
I have Lyme disease.
Okay, I was still in for 13.
Real World Paris? I don't remember if I was or not.
Yeah. Well, I remember these
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Like, I remember him
CT?
for sure. Yeah, CT. CT also Trader season 2.
And he got big on the challenge.
Yeah.
I was I was definitely on the way out though.
For sure.
Real World 12 is when I was like, or was that 13?
That's 13.
13 was like, okay, I think we might be wrapping up because 12 was the shit.
I'm almost going to guarantee I didn't see 14.
What's 14? Okay.
Loading.
It's loading. This is very...
San Diego.
San Diego. Hit me with the cash. Show me these pictures. Yeah, show me these pictures. Let me see. Who do I know? Ooh, this is not looking familiar. I think I'm out.
No.
I think I'm out. Danielle...
No, they kind of look familiar.
Right. Like it was probably on in the background or something, but we were no longer connected.
2004. Okay.
I mean, this is 2004 now, too. Like, there's no way I was sitting...
No.
Like, I was almost... Yeah, no. No. It's over at that point.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is the end.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is the end.
I'll agree.
I mean, Danielle, you have no idea. This Real World show?
Yeah.
Incredible. You missed it.
I know.
It's another thing that you missed. Is that a bummer for you?
It really is.
Because they stopped being polite and they started getting real. And it wasn't fake reality like you like.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, no, I know.
Assisted reality.
It like totally showcases what I want the world to still be like.
The early 2000s.
Yeah, like I already love that like TV and movies, but this is the real.
Oh yeah, you turn it on. You turn on the Real World from the year 2000 and you're like, "Oh my god, they were really like that."
Yeah.
I thought it was just in the movies they were really like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the best. It was all of the best. But I say all this to say that Paramount Plus is exciting. I feel like this is a step in the right direction. They just announced that they're putting up a ton of MTV Unplugged. Over 50 episodes of MTV Unplugged have been added to the streamer with dozens of episodes of VH1 Storytellers. And I mean, CMT Crossroads. I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about, CMT Crossroads? But VH1 Storytellers, okay.
Whatever.
MTV Unplugged, incredible. If they put up VH1 Behind the Musics, I'll be there all day. I'll never leave. VH1 Behind the Music.
Love them.
Yeah, the best. The best. They always... Act 2 was always horrible, and Act 3 was always kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they put up, so like, they have... I didn't even remember some of these people did Unplugs, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, Alice in Chains.
Alice in
That
Chains
one
was a
is
classic one.
Classic.
Classic.
I don't remember the Atlantis one.
I don't either.
It was 1999. That was towards the... Alicia Keys. We're not talking about the...
Cranberries, I remember that one.
That was huge.
Clapton, of course.
Look at
I remember
that.
That one.
Yeah.
Babyface. We love Babyface.
And Friends.
Oh my God, Casey and JoJo are on that one. You know what Casey and JoJo performed all my life. It's the best. Casey and JoJo rules.
I mean, they have one song.
That's a great song.
It's fine.
No, it's
Notes.
fantastic. Oh yeah, I'm not watching Chris Isaacs. I'm watching Cranberries.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't need Dashboard. I don't need Duran Duran.
You don't need Dashboard?
No.
What the hell's the matter with you?
No, I don't need Dashboard. I'm not an emo baby. You know? Are you into?
I'm not a dashboard
No,
guy.
no.
Wow.
By the way, Travis listening to Dashboard sounds right.
The hell?
I'm not shocked for a second.
Me neither. Your hair is everywhere. That's him. All his girlfriends would cheat on him, and he'd sing Dashboard to himself.
I thought I'd be vindicated.
You were screaming infidelity.
Okay, I guess so. Duran Duran, I'm skipping.
Skipping Duran Duran.
Elton,
I'm skipping Elton.
Okay. Elvis Costello, I'm watching.
I'm not watching Elvis Costello.
You don't fuck with Elvis Costello?
No, I do not.
What the hell's the matter
No,
with
I
you
do
guys?
not.
Clapton, that was a classic.
It was a classic. I'm probably not going to watch,
Because
but
just as one song, they released that as a single.
Sure. It was huge.
Yeah.
Tears in Heaven.
That's right.
Kills you.
Wow.
Killed his kid.
No, he didn't.
I said well because it's implied.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That he needs to.
I said it kills you like listening to
I
it.
know, and I went well because it was like right there. Like, okay, it's right there. And Troy's like, hey, I just found this mallet. It's a terrible thing to say.
Sorry, I apologize.
I'm not watching Hall & Oates. They suck. I'm not watching Hootie.
You're not watching Hootie.
No, I'm not watching Hootie. Hootie was lame with it. Although Hootie's a wrestling fan, so maybe I like Hootie.
Is he?
He is a wrestling fan. I like Hootie. I'll watch Jewel.
Why?
Save your soul.
Okay, what else are you going to do? Next 25 minutes.
Well, you don't have to watch the whole thing.
John Mellencamp, pass.
Pass on that.
Katie Lang, hard pass.
What? You love Katie Lang.
Katie Lang?
I'm not watching Katie Lang. I'm not gonna watch Kiss. And I'm sorry. You know, all due respect, if Jim Norton were here, I don't know if I'd admit that. But Jim's not here anymore. I think we can all admit we're not watching Kiss Unplugged.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good. Please, nobody tell him. Don't
Corn.
I didn't even know Corn did.
I didn't even know.
Listen, it's 2007. Are we being serious?
Oh yeah, I didn't care about it.
Are we being serious? They did it in the TRL studio, I'm sure.
Adidas Unplugged?
That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
Lenny Kravitz, I don't need.
Ball Tongue Unplugged?
I would watch Ball Tongue Unplugged. That would be sick.
It's a great song.
But it's 2007. I mean, that's even after the TRL era.
Yeah.
Mariah, Melissa Etheridge, Neil Young. Oh, they do have the OA. Obviously Nirvana. Obviously Nirvana.
And Alice in Chains are like the ones.
I think Nirvana's number one.
Yeah.
And Nirvana's number one for sure.
Yeah. Oasis I'm
That's
going to
cool.
watch because
Watch Oasis.
That's when he didn't sing, right?
yeah, Liam was
Yeah.
up in the balcony throwing beer bottles at Noel.
McCartney, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Simon, I'll pass.
Yeah.
They don't have Jay-Z Unplugged on here. That's interesting.
No.
That was
No,
a
they
big
don't,
one.
because this is in alphabetical order.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, no LL either.
No LL. That was his.
LL was huge. He had the deodorant.
Deodorant in his arm.
Yeah.
Never forget
He
that.
had the deodorant, but that was a huge one. I wonder if again rights issues, like because Jay-Z, that came out as an album.
Yeah.
I wonder if Rockefeller had like some kind of rights to the music
Maybe.
or something.
You're not going to watch live? Did we cover live?
Yeah, I'm not watching it live. Does he have the braids still? Pearl Jam, no, of course.
Pearl
not.
Jam, that was a
Pearl
great
Jam
one.
sucks.
Okay. We're getting really off the rails.
Yeah. Seal, of course, we're all watching.
REM I'll watch. Seal I would never even think about watching.
No. Shakira, I'll watch. We love Shakira. We love Shakira.
Love Shakira.
We love Shakira.
Shawn Mendes. 2017.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Unplugged in 2017. Don't even bother with it.
Sheryl Crow, pass. Sinead O'Connor, pass.
I mean, Soul Asylum. What do you? I mean, once you're done singing about the kidnapped kids, what are you doing?
They had that other one.
Yeah, they had one more.
No, that's Blind Melon.
Stained, hard pass.
Oh, you kidding me? You gotta watch Stained.
Stained is maybe the worst band ever.
What?
So
Come
bad.
on. The Wallflowers. I'm glad there's one Dylan up there. I'll watch that one.
Bob Dylan is up there as well.
Why?
Because
Jacob's on there.
he was one of the first. He did it in 94
Yeah, I guess.
when it was still huge.
Save it for Chalamet, as far as I'm concerned.
Stone Temple Pilots for sure.
For sure.
That's another great
That's a classic.
Wallflowers, yes.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'll fuck with the Tori Amos one.
No.
All right.
No.
That's a little misogynistic on your behalf, Travis. I'll
Why?
fuck with not to fuck with Tori Amos.
Come on, man.
You don't fuck with Tori Amos
I can't name you one Tori Amos song.
because you suck.
Not one.
All right. Well,
Can you name one?
Yeah, name one.
we're moving on.
No. Name
Let's go
name one.
Tell me what storytellers. are
one
there.
Tori Amos
No.
song.
Tell me what storytellers are there.
Let's see what her big song was.
Yeah,
Let's see.
he does. I'll tell you who doesn't know.
Well, I'm just saying I'm gonna fuck with it. I didn't say I'm a big I'm like the fucking president of her fan club.
I'll be honest. I'm looking at these song titles. I don't know one.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to. You're not claiming to be a fan.
I said I'm fuck with her unplugged. You need
Sam's
to,
like, oh, Tori Amos and Ani DeFranco.
first of all, it's Franco, not Franco.
That's like kind of Sam's thing. Is he like
It is.
takes all these like kind of lame female artists and he's like, I like them.
Any female artist from
no,
the
you're totally
90s
right.
with like hairy armpits,
Tori Amos didn't have hairy armpits.
Sam's down.
I'm sure she does now.
And by the way, I specifically said I wouldn't listen to Katie Lang. So there goes one.
Anybody that was on that stupid Lilith Fair tour, he's
Yeah.
like he backs.
Katie Lang
all
was
of
totally on the little fair. I said I wasn't going to watch her. So that shoots a hole in your theory that I,
I
wish
like
was
the
in
chicks.
your head. Dixie Chicks? I'm not fucking with the
No,
Dixie.
no.
Oh.
We don't
The
call them the
chicks.
Dixie Chicks.
Oh, yeah, they're not Dixie Chicks. They're just the chicks.
Yeah. You like, what's the lead singer of 10,000 Maniacs? You like her solo stuff.
That's right. Well, I thought I got even better.
Natalie, what's her face?
Natalie
Merchant.
Merchant.
Natalie
Natalie
Merchant,
Merchant. She
yeah.
was great. She was
She
great.
was great. And solo stuff.
I like the solo stuff. Yeah, I think it's good stuff.
Only one on the Lilith Fair that gets a pass is Sarah McLachlan.
Wait, I don't know if I'm fucking with Sarah McLachlan.
You're not
Why?
fucking with Sarah McLachlan?
What? Because she's singing about the dead dogs?
No, she's got other songs.
Name one.
Sweet Surrender.
That was great. That was fast.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not.
like-
I'm not Sam. I'm not going to say I like somebody and then not know any names.
By the way, I only said I was gonna. You tried to test me on Ani DeFranco. I took you guys to school. All I said is I'll fuck with Tori Amos Unplugged. I didn't say I'm listening to her all the time.
But like, why are you gonna fuck with like who? You don't even know a song.
I like
Yeah.
to check it out. I know she's good. I'm not fucking with her like that. I'll just fuck with her. I'm on Paramount Plus anyway. Flipping. I'm like,
there's
oh,
so much better stuff to watch.
I watch it all. What am I gonna do? Watch the OJ show again? I mean, yes, but maybe I'll also fuck with Tori Amos Unplugged for
No,
a
you're
second.
not. You don't even know her.
You don't know her either.
Yes, I'm not watching it.
You're sitting there listening to like
If Sarah McLachlan was
Sarah
on, I'd watch
McLachlan,
that.
Arms of an Angel.
Building a mystery. Come on, let's go.
It's a good song.
See?
Okay, I'm backing Travis on this one.
So you think go to the
Out of
Lilith
all
Fair
these,
with it.
all these,
So go to the
female-
Lilith Fair.
Yeah,
with it.
no, Sarah McLachlan gets a pass.
Yeah, she's okay.
I'm not anti Sarah McLachlan, but I don't even know where you guys are coming from. Sometimes I think you just argue for the sake of arguing. There's no logic.
Oh,
Now, you just love anything Lilith Fair.
Yep,
Because
that's
you had a
you.
I don't even
girlfriend.
like-
You had a girlfriend that liked the Lilith Fair. Now you're like locked into anything Lilith Fair.
I'm not with that girlfriend anymore.
I know, but you just in your head, it strikes an emotional part in your brain that anything that's associated with that stupid tour, you have to be like, I like that.
But you like Sarah McLachlan.
I like Tracy Bonham.
He just said that song, and I go, oh yeah, that's an okay song.
Is Tracy Bonham the one that sang Mother Mother?
No, that's Meredith. Wait.
No, that's not Meredith Brooke. That's Tracy. It was another. She only had the one hit.
I'm like trying to think of it, but I got a computer.
Because Mother Mother's a shit. So if that's the.
Mother, that's a band song.
Yeah.
Mother from Danzig.
Yeah, that is Tracy Bonham.
Yeah, I love fucking Tracy
Okay,
Bonham.
see?
But by the way, I named the song, so I don't know what your problem is. Like, clearly I love Tracy Bonham. Because she's like,
Brooks.
Meredith Brooks rules. I mean, you sit here telling me I'm faking the funk? I don't know, bitch. Like, what are you even talking about?
You think Sam likes Sean Colvin?
Who's Sean Colvin?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Sean Colvin's great.
Oh. You know who Sam listens
Who?
to?
Who?
The Indigo Girls.
Of course.
Indigo Girls are great.
Of course.
Indigo Girls are great.
Yep. That's
What did the
you.
Indigo Girls sing?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well then I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what your argument is.
You're the one that likes them.
They're great. Well, I wouldn't.
Oh, Closer to Fine.
I don't know that song.
Yes, you do.
I mean, you guys are naming all of this.
I'm going down the list of people that
I
the
just
Lilith
love that
Fair that you are into.
In your argument, you're naming bands and songs that you both like. That I'm like, what are you even talking about?
I mean,
and then you're
I
throwing
know
it
that
on me.
song. I didn't say it was a good song.
Like in front of Danielle, you guys sound like total idiots
No, no, no,
again.
no,
like
no, no.
why? I don't know. Every day you guys go on the idiot parade.
Anybody sounds like an idiot
Yeah.
in front of Danielle. It's
it's you.
You guys decide like, oh, you
I'll
know what?
fuck with Tori Amos.
You guys are like, oh man, there's only 20 minutes left in the show. I haven't sounded like an idiot all day. I got to make sure I do it today.
No.
Like, there's a quota.
We did a whole Loch Ness Monster thing.
That's true. You sound like idiots. So why don't you just sit there and instead of going like, let's attack Sam for what we like, even though he doesn't? Why don't you just go hear some people I like from the Lilith Fair? I don't understand what you're even
This
doing.
guy playing a flute. This is so stupid.
And Travis is smart because he realizes that Troy has found himself in an illogical argument, but Travis is smart enough to know he's in an illogical argument so he can slowly back his way out of it. He knows that Troy's not smart enough to get there.
Troy's walking into walls.
Right. So it's like Travis is going to loop his way around so that me and Travis are on the same side. We can throw Troy under the bus, and then Travis gets out unscathed, and Troy, you don't even see it happening.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You completely lost me.
You see what I'm saying, Danielle? I mean, you guys are acting like I'm not a pro at this. Like, what?
You know
And then-
Desiree? You know
and then-
Desiree
and then-
was on the Lilith Fair?
And then you go like this. Sam likes Tracy Bonham, and I'm like, what, Mother? And then all of us are like, yeah, we love that
I
song.
forgot this is a dope song.
I mean,
Oh yeah, this one's not bad.
Yeah, no, this
Danielle,
song.
are you vibing?
Yeah, I'm vibing.
So this
This
song
song rocks.
This is not bad. You like her?
Yes, I'm the
Okay,
one who
okay.
brought this
I
song
don't-
up.
we're not-
I'm the-
we're
you
not
guys
shitting
were like,
on you about it.
Yes, you were. You
Like
went,
Tracy Bonham?
yes.
No.
You said, Sam likes Tracy Bonham. Yes, you did.
I don't know if I sounded like
And then
that.
I
Why
went
you
like,
shitting on me for that?
and then
That-
you went like this. Travis goes like this. I have a photographic memory. Travis goes like this. So
No.
much Tracy Bonham. And then Troy goes like this.
always-
Yeah. Yeah. And then I go, what, Mother? And you're like, I don't know what she sings.
I'm
and you
sorry.
look it up and you go, yeah, that's what she sings. And then 10 minutes later, everyone's like, this is a great song.
I forgot this song rules.
Yes, pretty
All
good.
right. Well, then maybe like
You still like Ani DeFranco.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's no
Franco.
backing out of that one.
that whole
She's
album.
the worst.
Oh, yeah.
The whole album,
Hands down.
Little Plastic Castle is a great album.
That's the one that you're attached to because your ex-girlfriend.
You're attached to your ex-girlfriend.
What ex-girlfriend?
I don't know. There's a lot of them. You used to slang that thing around like it was nobody's business.
At least I
This
didn't have
guy-
any broads talking me into going to the Lilith Fair.
Okay.
I mean, Travis literally. I didn't go. Travis literally went to the Lilith.
Why you gotta remember shit?
You went to the Lilith Fair?
We gotta wrap up.
Travis, Troy. I want to tell you something real quick before you
I
figure
thought
out.
you went to the Lilith Fair.
Sam's got a great memory.
Before you figure out who you're aligning with,
Yeah.
I've never been to that festival. Travis literally went to the Lilith Fair.
I don't remember doing
Then
that.
Sam, I apologize.
Hit me on that.
I can't believe he went. No, I can believe he went.
I can too.
That makes perfect sense.
Doesn't it all check out?
It's all lining up.
Exactly.
I don't think I did.
Danielle, did you just watch 2 guys come and attack me?
Listen.
And I literally, within 15 minutes, turned them on each other.
Yeah, you turned that around real quick.
Impressed?
Yeah.
Troy and I are weak.
You're weak people. Travis is physically weak and Troy is mentally weak, and I prey upon those
That's
things.
why we make a good combo.
Yeah. Together, you're a full
Yeah,
man.
together we're strong.
Yeah, you're lethal together.
Yeah.
That bear sounds kind of cool, though.
The Lilith Fair?
Yeah.
You would,
I would love
you would
to
have
do
a good
that.
time. What'd you say?
It wasn't a bad day. I've had worse.
His argument was literally Sam likes the Lilith Fair, and then he's coming around going, well, now that we're done fighting, I enjoy the Lilith Fair.
I didn't say I enjoyed it. I said
You
it
said it
was
was
a bad day.
You said you liked it.
It was I said it wasn't.
If
a
you
bad
enjoyed
day.
it, you could admit you enjoyed it.
It was at
That's what I'm
PNC.
saying. Like, I had no problem telling
Own
you
it,
what I
you
liked.
went.
Own it.
I don't remember most of it.
Yes, you do. You remember everything about it. I remember you went. You remember everything about it.
We're doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah, right. You weren't doing any drugs.
Yes, I was.
You're sitting there flicking the bean, watching your favorite artists.
And that was like 90s hairy armpits on girls.
That was late 90s.
You hate hairy armpits.
I'm not a fan of it now, but I mean, back in the 90s, it was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I see.
I mean, now, it's everywhere, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you hate that.
I just did yoga yesterday, and this girl's pits were just, like a man's armpit hair.
And you're like, what are you doing, lady?
I'm just like, oh, and she was so pretty. I'm like, why are you doing that?
You ruined it. You thought.
And you were like, hey, your body, my choice.
Right.
Yeah, but people comment about my chin braid, so I can comment about their armpit hair.
I mean, I don't think that there's just like strangers going on the radio and seeing, I saw this hideous guy with a chin braid yesterday.
I didn't say her name. I don't know her name. But somebody could go on a radio show and say, I saw a guy with a chin braid. I didn't like it.
And they probably go like, well, all right, why you bring this up? The fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
They probably go like this. Yeah, well, you got hairy pits.
Yeah. I'm talking about the Lilith Fair. I think of hairy armpits. And
You know
patchouli.
who has hairy armpits that went to the Lilith Fair?
Who?
Travis.
Yeah.
Man, Sam doesn't forget anything.
No, dude. No. And I was letting you have your fun because I was like, okay.
I appreciate
Let
that.
this peter out. It's illogical. It makes no sense what you guys are saying, especially because you're both guilty.
You love Hunter.
How am I
DeFranco.
guilty? I didn't go to the Lilith Fair.
Because you like the fucking Indigo Color.
I said I
Yeah,
know
you
that
do.
song.
I mean, he loves
Yeah,
the
you
Indigo
I
Girls.
didn't say I said I know that song.
That is I do love that. Letting you guys attack me until you peter out because you got nothing. And then I turn it around. It's great.
Well, because you're like
ahead.
all about Tori Amos,
I said I would fuck with Tori Amos Unplugged.
and you couldn't even name one song.
Yeah.
I said that's it called fucking with it. You just fuck with it.
Yeah, why would you fuck with something you don't even know?
You're a Tori Amos fan poser.
Yes.
I'm not even a fan. I didn't say I was a fan. I
You're
just
a
said
poser.
fuck with it. You're a poser.
You're a poser.
You were posing as somebody who didn't go to the Lilith Fair.
I was just hoping nobody remembered.
Oh, I remember it. I remember it.
You remember
You've
everything.
seen the Lilith Fair more than you've seen the last episode of Nitro.
Yep, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
And I've seen the last episode of Nitro, and it was awesome.
I missed that. Parents were getting divorced.
Well, I didn't want to bring up why. I don't want to bring up those memories. That sucks.
It's fine. It's always there.
That's the thing about hurt. You just learn to live with it. It never goes
Think
away.
about deep cuts. They never fully heal.
Yeah. It's the difference between a scab and a scar. Eric in Pittsburgh.
Sam, I'm going to defend you on two fronts, and then I'm going to give Travis and Troy a little ammo for you, too. That one that you forgot, I'm sure you love, that has hairy armpits.
All right.
Thank you.
Whoever said Jodeci has one song is a complete idiot.
No.
I mean, come and talk to me.
They said-
Freaking you.
They
Forever
said-
My Lady. Get on up.
They
Come on.
didn't say Jodeci. They said Casey and JoJo.
Well, it's the same thing.
It is.
Well,
It's the
no,
same
those are
thing.
different people.
It is the same thing.
And Natalie Merchant with Carnival, Wonder, Jealousy, and then she sang Because the Night. I mean, come on.
Oh, I forgot about Because
But
the
here's
Night.
one I think.
Yeah,
That's
and by the way,
real
you
song.
guys, no, fuck you, because you can't say that's a great song because you
It
guys
is a
were
great
like,
song.
No, shut up, because you guys were
It's
like
a remix. But
you guys were like,
she
you know who
killed it.
Sam likes? Natalie Merchant's solo stuff, and then the one
Well,
caller
here's-
calls up and this guy goes,
But
"It's
no,
a great song."
that's a cover, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here's who I think Sam would like, though.
All right.
That is in the Lilith Fair is Paula Cole.
Oh,
where
yeah.
You think I
I don't want to
Love
wait
Paula Cole.
and where have all the cowboys gone? Sam was wearing a cowboy hat singing that shit karaoke.
100%.
Where have they all gone?
Good call, Eric.
which is Paula Cole?
Oh, you know this song, Sam. Don't pretend you don't.
Okay, I'm just asking who Paula Cole is.
By the way, we're not going to put Lisa Loeb in this conversation
she's-
at all.
don't even. We're not shitting on Lisa Loeb.
No, I'm not shitting on any of them. You guys are the ones making straw man arguments.
This song, you know this song. At the Lilith
I mean,
Fair.
she's too good for the Lilith Fair tour, but
Yeah.
she was probably just starting out. So
She wasn't just starting out.
she took the tour.
She was with a headliner at the Lilith Fair.
Yeah, she was on the main stage.
Do you have anything else to say?
I love Missy.
Cool. Nice argument. I like
Sam Roberts show. What's
Loud.
I like Amy Mann,
Oh,
and I like Michelle Branch. Those are my people.
nobody likes Michelle Branch aside from one song.
I like all Michelle Branch's songs.
That's a weird thing to say.
I love Michelle Branch, and I love Amy Mann.
Amy Mann.
And then more modern, I love Lana Del Rey.
Well, we're not going to talk about Lana Del Rey.
No, she's great.
I'm fine with
All
that.
three of those are great.
No, Amy Mann?
Why do you keep saying that? Ani DeFranco, I'm a mom.
And how do you spell Amy Mann?
M-A-N-N.
No, her first name.
A-I-M-E-E.
Ugh.
You don't like that?
No.
Okay.
That's how I know
Well,
I
yeah,
won't
guess
like
what?
her.
Guess what? You know what's more annoying than A-I-M-E-E?
What?
T-E-F-F-T. Tift. Tift. It's a weak last name.
I didn't choose it.
Well, it's weak.
Amy Mann. I can't name you one Amy Mann song.
Good. I mean, that's why we don't hang out very often.
Well, if that's the reason,
I'm not
then
trying to share my taste with you.
How do you spell her name?
A-I-M-E-E.
Ugh.
I
hate. No. You don't know any of these songs. I don't know why I'm bringing them up.
Nah, I would skip it.
Okay. I don't care if you skip it or not. I'm going to listen to them on my phone when I'm walking out of here. So I don't care if we listen to them right now.
You like Suzanne Vega.
Who is Suzanne Vega?
Oh, Tom Steiner. Yeah, that's a cool song.
I quit.
It's doo 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 doo. You don't know doo 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 doo?
I'm trying to do something here.
How do you not know doo 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 doo?
I mean, I'm assuming neither one of you was in debate class in high school.
I thought I was doing something, and he's like, "Yep."
Suzanne Vega?
You like that?
How do you not like that song?
I don't know it. I don't know it. I'm not
Doo
the
doo
one.
doo 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 doo. I told you.
It doesn't ring a bell.
I'm not the one attacking people for what they like, even though I like it too.
Also, you're saying it wrong.
Do 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 do.
Doo 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 doo.
There you go.
That's a totally different.
It's a totally different song.
Yeah.
It's a doo 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 doo.
I
There's
thought you
a
were.
lot
I
of
thought you were
those.
singing "Take a Walk on the Wild Side."
That's
No.
Do do do
oh doo.
do 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 do.
If you had said,
Doesn't that sound like? Put "Take a Walk on the Wild Side."
yeah,
This is the song you were just singing, Troy. You're singing Lou Reed. I was like, yeah, I like Lou Reed.
I like Lou Reed,
What's
too.
not to like about Lou Reed? But I don't think he was ever at the Lilith Fair.
Sampled by Marky Mark.
That's right. This is what you were just singing.
Holly came from Miami, FLA.
I mean, they're so similar.
They're not.
How is it not a lawsuit?
Candy came from out on
yeah. If you had said like, "Oh, you know Suzanne Vega," do 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 do.
Totally different.
Totally different song.
I know that song you're talking about. Of
course.
Yeah.
lost ahead, even when
But this
Troy's
is
like, you know, do 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 do.
It could have been do 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 do.
Oh,
yeah,
That's a
that's
different
one.
song.
That's a great one.
take a walk on the wild.
I thought you were singing Lou Reed to me.
Okay.
This is what you're saying.
This is different than Suzanne.
This is what you know. This is what you just said. That's what he was just singing. You were singing this. Was there any planet you weren't singing this on? You could literally take the audio from this show and remix it into "Take a Walk on the Wild Side" by Lou Reed, and it would match perfectly.
Okay.
And then you're like Suzanne Vega.
Suzanne Vega or Lou Vega?
Lou Bega, I'm down with.
I fuck with Lou Bega.
Okay.
And he's not a female singer-songwriter, but he mentions a lot of females.
And he's 90s.
Oh, Nelly Furtado was on Lilith Fair?
I like Nelly Furtado.
Yeah, we're not.
Shocker. Shocker.
Well, you don't?
You like, yes, of course I do, but I'm not the one sitting here going, I don't like anyone on the Lilith Fair. You like everyone, both of you two.
No.
You like most of the artists.
I wouldn't say all of them, but there's okay. I was wrong.
Oh, you know who I don't
Thank
like?
you. By the way, thank you. Thank you. Those are words that Travis Taft will never.
I absolutely said I was wrong.
With
When we-
his weak last name, will never say.
Who did we just listen to? With
No.
Mother.
No.
Mother.
No.
I said I was wrong.
You said you were wrong about Tracy Bonham.
Yeah.
Troy is saying he was overall this whole
just
conversation.
completely incorrect.
Now that we're looking at it in context, there's a lot of artists on there I do like.
Yeah. 2020 hindsight, this entire argument.
I got caught up in the whole hairy armpits thing. That's what I.
Because you really hate that.
And patchouli. I don't like patchouli.
I hope you never go swimming at the beach because you just get lost, sucked up in the wave. We'd never see you again.
All right, you guys go hang out. Listen to Liz Phair.
Liz Phair. What about the comeback song?
What?
There was a big pop hit she had.
I don't know it.
Liz Phair's not bad. I mean, she's not like great. She's not one of my people. I've got my people.
Yeah, I know. Ani DeFranco.
Ani DeFranco's not one of my people. I just like Little Plastic Hassle. But I don't really
Meredith,
Tori Amos.
Tori Amos.
No, I said I fuck with the Unplugged. That's all.
Not Meredith Brooks. Michelle Branch.
Michelle Branch is one of
I know. You come in all the time and you're like, you know what I was listening to? Michelle
I don't even
Branch?
sound like that.
Hey, you know what I was listening to? Hey guys, I was listening to Michelle Branch. I iPod.
Travis is trying to make himself feel comfortable.
Oh,
because
hamburgers.
That's why he's doing a Mickey Mouse voice. He's trying to make himself feel comfortable.
Well, you made me sound almost Asian before.
I don't do ethnic voices.
It sounded like it.
I don't even know what that means. I know a lot of Asian people that sound very different from each other. I don't know what an Asian voice is.
I think it's time we leave.
I think you need to say what Troy said.
What?
Troy, do you apologize?
Yeah.
No, I'm not
There's a lot of
No,
artists.
I'm talking to Troy right now.
There's I in context when I looked at the artists, I'm like, oh yeah, I like some of these
Was
artists.
there anything you'd like to say to me?
Sam, I'm sorry for shitting on the Lilith Fair. I know how you're a
Were you right?
a Lilith Fair apologist.
No. Were you right? I'd never even been. Travis is the one that's been.
Guys, stop saying that.
I think just the overall attacking of me based on, number one, nothing that I even do, and number two, everything that you like. I think you could say, Sam Supreme.
Sam Supreme.
I think so. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I think you could say that.
Then we got to go. Yeah. Let's wrap this one up.
Yeah. We don't have to.
Mike, hit whatever button you need.
You don't have to do that, Mike. We got buffer time. I think that you could say, you don't have to say Supreme Being if you don't want. But you could say, Sam, I am sorry, I was wrong. You could say that.
I was wrong. Some of the Lilith Fair artists. You said Misty. I didn't know Misty.
You didn't need. I don't need to justify. I don't need the everything. Because there's one other. Sam, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
That's right. Let's call it a day.
We don't have to. We got plenty of buffer time. Danielle thought you guys looked like total morons today.
Danielle, no, you didn't. Did you?
No comment.
Oh,
that's not good.
No comment.
She didn't think I looked like a moron.
No comment.
No comment. She probably did.
No,
you're the boss, so she can't say that.
She's saying no comment because she didn't think I did, but it would imply that she thought that you did if she said it. She's smart, unlike you.
I mean, Troy also got real aggressive with the hairy armpits.
I don't like.
Yeah, but you were manipulative.
No, it wasn't.
You twisted him like a pretzel.
No, I thought we were going to be on the same side on this.
Well, you got him all twisted up, and then I got him all twisted up. He didn't know what side he was
And
on.
he's like, then I was at yoga.
He forgot the argument, and then he was just thinking about yoga class. He got confused, and he gets easily confused. He's like Finding Nemo.
Yes.
He just, he goes too far out there. He's lost. He ends up in a dentist's office somehow. He doesn't know how he got there. Anyway, Troy.
If I say, I'm sorry, can Mike hit the button? Can we go?
No.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Why?
I'll say it if we can go.
Troy, you don't have to be sorry.
I'm not.
But weren't you wrong?
Okay, fine. I was wrong. There's a couple artists on there I don't mind.
Yeah.
And you're not sorry that you were wrong?
I'm done. Sam, I'm sorry.
I accept your apology. Travis, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm totally fine.
Okay, well then I'll harbor resentments towards you.
No resentment towards me?
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Are you going to be shitty towards me for?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope you come in tomorrow.
Because you're creating arguments for no reason. They're based on nothing.
You said, "Oh, fuck with Tori Amos," and then you couldn't name one song. You were being a poser.
I said I'll fuck with the Unplugged.
You were being a poser.
No, I will fuck with it.
I have nothing to say. I think I had a sound argument.
You know why he's got nothing to say? He lost his voice from all the cheering he was doing at the Lilith Fair.
That was like 20 years ago.
He went. I didn't. Did you?
I didn't go.
He did. That's a festival for women.
I like going to concerts. I thought you forgot about that.
I don't forget about shit.
I think that might be.
And guess what? The fact that I don't forget about shit, I won't forget about this.
Good. And we're cool, right?
100%.
We're cool.
I appreciate you, bro.
We're cool as ice, baby.
Nah, Sam and I are cool.
Not with that guy. Not me and that guy.
Come in tomorrow with a grudge.
I will.
Why? Because I stand up for myself?
No, because you make shit up.
I didn't make anything up.
You're spinning in circles, talking about God knows.
What did I make up?
What did I make up? What did I do? What did I do?
I didn't make up anything.
You know what you did.
I didn't do anything.
And Mike knows what you did.
And I shouted you out on Mother Mother. That's a good song. I was wrong about that.
The last thing on this earth that I need is your approval.
We'll be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
Sam Roberts Show. Our pal John Taffer is here again from Bar Rescue. Of course, Bar Rescue season 10 returns on Sunday. Yes, or
season 9 returns.
Season 9
on
returns.
Sunday.
Season 10 is upcoming.
It's upcoming. We've already signed season 10, which is quite flattering, I might say.
Huge. I saw the press release for it.
Well, you're
season
alumni,
10's
buddy.
on the way. I know.
You're Bar Rescue alumni.
It's so crazy. People still, and I love how much those shows all get replayed. Because people still, and I don't even look the same. I think I still had hair.
You did have hair.
I did Bar Rescue. But people absolutely come up to me. Like, there are people that I hadn't seen since high school. And I've done all this radio, and I've done everything that I've done. And they go, "Hey, what have you been up to? I saw you on Bar Rescue." And that's all they know, because there's so many eyes on this show now. It's pretty remarkable.
So years ago, I was working with Sheryl Crow on a TV project, and we're standing on a corner in Nashville, and the cars are all driving by, and they're beeping, and they're yelling, John, John, John. Not one person yelled Sheryl. And I felt sort of bad. And she goes, "You see, rock and roll, you can be anonymous," was what she said.
So she was happy about it.
I think she was, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So season 9 is coming back now. This season, I think it's the first season that you've been cycling in some guest hosts coming in, and I know that people are loving the guest host, but at the same time,
it's a little mixed review.
Well, they missed their Taffer. I mean,
and you were kind the way you presented it. I appreciate
I'm
that.
trying to be respectful. But they do. I mean, your personality is such, I mean, it's the nucleus of the show.
Yeah.
So that's a risk, right? Bringing in guest hosts,
sure,
making that decision to do that.
And the other risk is the key point is for them not to try to be me.
Right.
Right, because I think Bar Rescue is successful because you've been there. You know this. It's authentic. It's real. What happens is completely real. So when you bring a guest host, you don't want them to get contrived. You don't want them to get ahead of themselves, to pre-think lines, things they want to say. You want to keep it in real time. And that's a challenge, because when I did the show in the early days, think of your early days in radio.
Right.
You didn't freewheel it then. You didn't have the confidence to.
Absolutely.
You had your ducks in a row, man. You knew what you were going to say, how you were going to say it. You thought about it the night before. Now you don't have to do that so much. You're a pro. You can sit down and, it becomes sort of a natural extension of yourself.
Yeah.
Bar Rescue's that for me. I don't have to think about anything. I just will sort of go out there and do it. For them, I got to stop and prevent them from being contrived. Now, they're hosting the show, but I'm still there behind the scenes.
You are?
Oh, I'm working on a remodel. I speak to them off camera. I speak to them at least 3 times a day. And I'm very, very engaged because it's still my show, buddy. I'm still executive producer of it. And so I'm not trying to walk away from it. I'm trying to expand it.
Are you, and is that, so why did that decision get made? Was it just because, are you still part of it but not on the scene, or are you still traveling to every show?
No, I'm not on scene.
Right.
I'm off scene, but I'm very involved through all the calls, and I get all the blueprints and all that kind of stuff. But it simply was, we used to do 40 a year, Sam. Each show is a week away. That's 40 weeks a year on the road. There was 1 year we did 50.
Jeez.
And I love the show, but traveling that much is really, it's just too much. And I want to enjoy myself a little bit. So I've agreed that I'll do about 20 shows a year.
Which is still a lot, by the way.
Which is a lot of shows. And I'll be involved in any of the others that they want to do. So we'll see. Right now, season 10 is all me.
It is.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes from there.
How many? And so you built such a library of shows too.
272 episodes of Bar Rescue. Blows me away, Sam. I mean, I thought I'd do a pilot and go home. I was happy doing a pilot and go home. How cool is that?
Right.
I did a pilot.
That's fun.
then I'll never forget this. After season 2, I went to my production company and they said, okay, so season 2, statistically, we're much more likely to make it to season 3 now, right? They said, no. The statistical likelihood of 2 to 3 is one of the lowest in all of television.
Really?
Because the buzz sort of wears off, I guess. But here we are, 15 years. But you were on what, about 5 years ago?
It's probably about 5.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago. Yeah, right? 5? Yep. Yeah, and it's really interesting that you said season 2 to season 3, because I was just last night watching a clip of you. You were on like the show Gary Vee was doing at the time, and you were explaining marketing inside a restaurant.
The red napkin.
Yes. And how the statistics of get them to come in for a second time. Once you get them for a second time, it's 40% likely that they'll come for a third time. But once they're in for the third time, now you're at 70% that they'll come in for a fourth. And now you've
got a great memory. And that's what restaurant operators, and I'm going to say a lot of retailers blow it. You don't market to 1 visit, you market to 3.
Right.
You see, how many times have you been out, you had a great time, but you don't think about it. It's not in your cycle. It's not in your traffic pattern of your life, if you will.
Yeah.
After 3 visits, it's now creating a pattern. It has a place.
Yeah, that's
in
our
your
spot.
cycle, if you will.
Yeah, that's our spot. And if you say, let's go out to get dinner tonight, you're like, the first thing that pops into your mind, this is the restaurant we go to.
Absolutely. So that's why and the same thing with the store.
Right.
When it becomes part of your cycle, that's where the payoff really
Right.
comes in.
Yeah, and I think that all, like, when I go into a barber shop to touch up my beard, obviously I don't need to go in for a haircut anymore. But it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, that's my guy. He made me feel like he was my guy.
Yep.
I'm not going to any other guys. Like, this is who I'm going to.
Your guy.
Yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't do it, right? A lot of people are just so concentrating on the singular sale at this moment.
Yeah. And then they discount and people get attached to discounts. I'd rather give it to you free the first time.
And then,
because you're not going to get addicted to free. You don't expect free forever.
Right. But a discount, now it feels like you're upcharging instead of going to the regular price eventually when you break the discount, right?
Yeah.
So
there's something else that people notice, and you'll find this interesting. The acquisition cost for a new customer in a restaurant can be $1,000. Can be $300-$400. I mean, an ad in a newspaper, an ad on Sirius,
of
right?
Course,
the stuff
of
isn't
course.
cheap.
Yes.
So if you do that and you count the new bodies you get, the acquisition cost per head is very, very expensive.
Right.
Let's say there's a dinner for $20.
Right.
Steak dinner. I can give you that steak dinner. That only cost me $5, and I don't have to pay that $5 until you come.
Right.
So I take serious guys are going to kill me. I take advertising dollars. I'm a TV guy saying this.
Yeah.
I take media dollars and I move them to giveaways. And I say, come to the restaurant, have my ribs, they're free dinner, blah, blah, blah. It costs me $5 when you come versus thousands hoping you come.
Right. And it's a direct to, like, you're already here.
And you're tasting it, and we're connecting.
Yes.
And now I give you that hit for the second visit, and I give you the incentive for the third visit.
Yeah.
And you're mine, buddy.
Yeah. How do you think that works in the media and content space? Because you also just signed a deal to do like podcasts, but for TuneIn, to do like podcasts and content like that.
You're on TuneIn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So have you like wrapped your head around, okay, how do I get the podcast space is so flooded right now.
It is.
How do I get people to first get attracted enough to this show to listen, and then how do I make it, because it's the same thing, you got to go, okay, if I'm dropping on Tuesday, this now has to become part of the regular Tuesday cycle of these listeners, right?
Yeah, I don't think media is very different. I think it takes 3 or 4 listens to get into somebody's cycle as well. Also to get a connection to your personality. I listen to you all the time, but I know you. I'm lucky. I can picture you and I know you and we've hung out together.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, after 2 or 3 listens, I would know you.
Right.
I would know your personality. I would like you.
Right.
So it takes a few times for that affection from your audience to develop.
And I guess that is the thing. Like, it's the same principle for Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't wait to see what Taffer's going to tell this guy. I can't wait.
Yeah, the guy who watches the first episode thinks I'm a jerk.
Right.
Second episode probably still thinks I'm an ass, maybe, right? Third episode, he's saying, you know what? I get it. This guy's actually trying to do good here.
Right. Because you get into Act 3 and you're like, oh, okay, here's the turn, here's the...
Yeah. I'm throwing food with a purpose. Anyway, your question about media is really, really interesting. And, Dr. Phil is a really good friend of mine. And Phil McGraw said something to me that was really powerful. He said, take advantage of your unfair advantage. So what is my unfair advantage? When I think about my success in media, what are the advantages that I have? Well, authenticity is clearly one, right? Directness, even anger at times with a purpose.
Sure.
So whatever I do has to be me. It has to be an extension of my authenticity. The other thing is, I don't know if you knew this, when I was a kid, I took drum lessons for 9 years.
I did not know.
And jazz drum lessons. So I'm a very good drummer. I have a drum set in my house. I still play.
Really?
All the time, and I love it. So I'm a huge music fan. So being here to curate a little music program and display music that I love and is really exciting to me as well. And I've always felt that I know more about music than a musician, and I'll tell you why. I play music to the masses. I've owned nightclubs and bars my whole life. I know what happens when that song hits the dance floor better than they do.
Right.
I understand the beats per minute of their song and the impact it has on an audience. I understand the instrumentation effect upon the audience. I understand all of these dynamics that happens when it crosses 120 beats per minute. What happens? Where's the sweet spot at 90 beats per minute? Blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting. I've dissected music at a much deeper level than people who play it. In fact, this will shock you, I own the only patent ever issued by the federal government for the purpose of managing music to achieve a desired ambiance in a hospitality property. I categorized 57,000 songs into a database years ago and created a company called Music Plan. And the concept is you got a marketing plan, you got a business plan, you need a music plan.
Right.
And what we would do is we would scientifically analyze the demographic of every venue. We would put through a computer program we created. We would put in a starting library. This is the days of vinyl.
Yeah.
Right? A starting, and all the records would be in our own sleeves with color codes and labels and all that. And you could teach a 20-year-old DJ how to play a 60s music program really effectively with songs he's never heard of.
Wow.
He'd follow beats per minute curves and instrumentation curves, and he would move it in all these kinds of directions. So to me, music is more than just music. It's the ultimate vehicle by which to create energy, emotion, and reactions if you program it properly.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the difference too between like going, okay, I'm going to take this as a pure art form and just do it for the art, and go, no, there's a business to be had here, and also there's an audience that I need to keep in mind, and ultimately my job is to please this audience.
Yeah.
So let me, I guess, in your case, statistically, figure out how my odds
we
are
do
best
that.
at doing that. Yeah. Have you always been a numbers guy?
I've always been a numbers guy.
You love statistics and numbers.
I do.
Yeah.
But when I went to college, I studied cultural anthropology, which is the study of primates and their societies and their culture. I'm very interested in human behavior, always have been. What causes Sam to wake up this morning and put on the clothes that he does?
Right.
You could have put on the tuxedo this morning.
I could have.
But you didn't.
Nope. No, thank God.
I'm being extreme, but you hear what I'm saying?
Sure.
All of us make these decisions in life, and these little decisions that we all make drive a massive economy.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that the person who really understands that decision process, what drives us to make the choices that we do, would be the one who's extremely successful in the marketplace. And understanding that kind of human behavior is what I love. That's why I'm good at Bar Rescue. I understand these people.
Right.
I feel their emotions. I know what they're going through. I watch their eyes dilate when they get angry at me. I watch the veins pop out of their neck. When that happens, I'm getting somewhere.
Right.
Other people back off. No, I dig in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because his brain is open at that moment.
That's when the chin starts really sticking out.
Bingo.
Yeah.
People back off. I step in.
Yeah.
So human behavior to me is fascinating.
So when you're getting angry with somebody on an episode of Bar Rescue, is it pure emotion, or is it like, okay, I'm noticing their cues, I know what cues to react with to get the desired result? Is it that sort of scientific in your brain?
It is. I think of myself as a Gestalt therapist, which is an in-your-face style of therapy. Sam, I'm there for 4 days.
Right.
In reality, I'm only with them maybe 20 hours, 18 hours. So if I'm going to change this guy's life, I got to change the way he thinks about things. I can build this guy to Taj Mahal, and he'll screw it up.
Right.
So I better change what he thinks, where his eyes go, what he listens to, and all that. And I got 4 days to do it.
Yeah, you have no time at all. It's got everything has to be impactful.
And there's this clock ticking in my head, man. It's a pressure cooker. Imagine if you had to do, 9 radio shows, 3-hour radio shows, after, and the pressure.
Right.
So that pressure puts me on this objective mission. So I'm not trying to manipulate. I'm not actually angry. My anger is a tool to get this person off his ass, you know, to embarrass him in front of his family if that's what does it, to dangle the fruit of success in front of his face if that's what does it. I love the Bar Rescues where there was one guy who drank all the time. So I took a picture of his kids and I glued it to the bottom of his glass. So every time he lifted his glass, he stared at his children. I want to see you drink now when you're looking at that.
Look right at them.
You got to be aggressive when you only have 4 days, and that's why it is that way. I'm much nicer in life, you know that.
I mean, yeah.
But put me in that pressure cooker, yeah, I'm a freaking maniac.
It is insane being there for it. And I think I've said a little bit of this before, but like when you're on set, quote unquote, for Bar Rescue, which is literally just in the bar, it's like, because, you know, Jim and me did the one in Tampa, and we're just sitting and we order food and we order drinks or whatever. And there's this moment where I remember sitting there in it, where you walk in with the owner of the bar, and I'm like, wait, the show's happening? Like, we were just hanging, ordering the food, talking to the bartender, whatever. And then all of a sudden you show up, the lady who runs the bar is crying, and I go, oh, this is the episode. Like, this is happening, and everything just starts spinning all at once. It is such an insane environment to be in, because it truly is like sitting in the room. The show's not happening. Like, the cameras are in here because they're checking out a few bars, whatever. And then show's on. We're doing it right now, and we're off to the races. And you're going, oh, what happened? Yeah. The whole thing shifts in an instant.
So imagine me. I get to walk in and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Most reality stars, you know, they're told, well, I'm not going to script you, but these are the points you need to hit.
Right. And that's the other thing.
And by the way, stand on this mark.
Yeah.
And then go over to this mark. I have no marks. You know, I got the greatest cameraman in the world. These guys can run backwards faster than you and I can run forwards. So I get to walk in there, go wherever I want, do whatever I want, and tell the story in my way.
Right.
And it's really wonderful to be able to tell these people's story, too.
Yeah.
How did they get in this situation? You know, how bad is it? What's going on with their wife, with their kids? I mean, this is more than a bar. This guy's freaking life is going down the tubes here.
Totally. Yeah. And I was wondering, too, like, that's what I was going to ask you, if you have to take time to get out of angry mode, you know, because, like, when I get angry at somebody, it takes me, like, I need a little bit of time to myself before I can have a healthy conversation with somebody. But if your anger is more of a tool, is it a on-off switch?
Yeah, it is.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
now,
crazy.
There are times I do get angry.
Sure.
I mean, if the guy is screwing his own family, I'm going to get angry at that, right? If he's getting people sick, I'm going to get angry.
What if he's disrespecting you?
I'll get a little angry.
Okay.
At that. But you know, I can understand it's a defense mechanism too. I got to break that down.
Right.
He's got to stop insulting me and start listening to me. So I got to get us to that point. It's not going to happen by love if I only have 4 days.
Yeah. I was watching, and that's the other thing. We talk about 270 episodes of Bar Rescue. What's great is that you figured out the evergreen format. Everybody in television, everybody in media loves when you can figure out that evergreen format, because you can run these 270 shows from now until the end of time.
It's on right now.
It's nuts. Like, I'll watch it now and go, oh, I'm watching a show from 8 years ago, and it does, and
crazy.
It could just be right now. I was watching the one last night. That was what it was. Fairway Golf and Grill.
Oh, with the mushroom in the walk-in?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I go in this guy's walk-in refrigerator. There's a mushroom growing out of the wall the size of my freaking head.
It was crazy. The mushroom was growing out of the wall of the walk-in freezer. Like, they cleared out the freezer, and there's a mushroom growing out of the wall. When you go in and you see that you're now in this food establishment that has literal fungus, I mean, full-on mushrooms. Like, it looked like a mushroom that you would see on a shelf, and you realize there is no shelf. That's been growing
out of the wall. That's right,
for a long time.
Yep, in the seam between the metal.
I mean, what do you think?
It's funny that you mentioned that episode, because that has one of my favorite scenes of all time in it. Mm-hmm. The guy who was the cook in that episode told the owner he was a trained chef. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't. He was full of crap.
Right.
So we busted him on that, and then we went through what we went through, and then we fired him. And after I fired him, my favorite scene ever was this guy getting on like a mini bike and riding out of the parking lot into the sunset. Yeah. But the guy was so full of crap, he didn't know how to fry an egg. This guy, but he's I'm a chef, a graduate chef. Anyway. It's incredible the things that you see in this business.
Yeah. And was there? I mean, what was the possible excuse for mushrooms are growing out of the wall? Like that level of, I don't care about this place, and I'm not checking on anything.
It's remarkable to me that they don't see these things. Sometimes they say, you know what, there's a real chance that Taffer's going to be here next week. Maybe we should clean up.
Yeah, at least cut that mushroom.
No, right, at least cut the mushroom down or water it. One of the two. But, you know, the things that I've seen, we've opened up a refrigerated drawer in a cooking line. A dead raccoon was in it. We've stood in kitchens in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and as we're standing on a cooking line cooking, the rats are running into our sneakers.
Oh, my.
We feel them hitting our sneakers on the floor as they're running around the kitchen floor. While we're cooking, that's how many of them there were. Normally, they only come out at night.
Yeah. And
they're staring us in the face. They're saying, you're in my kitchen, buddy.
And there's enough of us.
Oh, yeah.
That this is our spot.
I use prophylactic behind the bar, sitting on the ground under the sinks.
And it's you.
I've walked into kitchens where I had to turn around and walk right back out and take a jar of powdered garlic, sprinkle it on the end of my tongue, and then breathe through my mouth, not my nose, while I'm in the kitchen. And I can make it maybe 30 seconds before I'm ready to puke and I got to run out again. So the things that I've seen are remarkable, but these people live these ways. It becomes accepted to them.
Yeah, it really does. I was also watching I think it was like from season 3, the Headhunters.
Oh, my God. That's another one. So I go in with my wife. She's wearing open-toe shoes, and the cockroaches are walking across her feet as we're sitting on the bar. We had to close it down. It had a Class 5 infestation.
Yeah, I remember. You found there was literally, I think your wife left because there were cockroaches in the liquor bottle.
Absolutely.
Like they were about, I think it was whiskey. They were about to pour her a whiskey, and one of you had to say, there's roaches at the bottom of that bottle that you are pouring from right now. And then the owner of this place goes, first he says, there's no bugs. And then you go, there's an obscene amount of bugs. Look at this video. And then he goes, well, it's Austin. Every place in Austin has bugs. Every bar in America has roaches. And it's like, what are you talking about? They're in the liquor.
He said the greatest line ever an owner ever said to me. I was having that argument with him, and I said, there's bugs in your bottles. And he looked me in the eyes and said to me, you're a bug.
I mean, do you keep a straight face at that point?
You don't know what to do with moments like that. Sometimes.
Did I go back to second grade?
Yeah. After 272 episodes, I can honestly tell you, Sam, I have no freaking idea what I'm going to walk into next time.
Right.
It never ceases to amaze me. It's remarkable.
Have you ever been in one where you're like, because sometimes, look, there's a thing where I think even more so than bringing up people's families, I think more so than bringing up people's failures, there is a personality type, and you see it a lot in liars, people who lie constantly. When you point out their lies and they get caught in a lie publicly, they can get violent.
Absolutely.
And you can see it in their face.
You're blowing their whole gig.
Right. Have you had moments on the show where you're like, oh, I think like a security around,
this guy could come at me.
Yeah, I think he's going to lunge at me.
Well, I have to manage that. Fortunately, people's pupils dilate before those things happen, and there's body language and things. I got to push it up to that line.
You got to know the line.
And in a way, you could say that's a little scary, John. It's also a lot of fun.
You like that
line? Yeah, sure. It's actually it's pretty.
Well,
cool
luckily
stuff.
you're a big aggressive guy yourself, so I mean you can probably.
I got to tell you a story I've never told on the air before.
Please do.
So we're doing a bar rescue. I can't remember the name of the episode, but I remember it was in Tennessee, and the husband and the wife owned it. The wife was a waitress on the floor, and while the wife was working on the floor as a waitress, the husband was screwing one of the cocktail waitresses in the back office. And this guy was so disrespectful to his wife. It was just unbelievable to me that he could do this. And his wife was a sweet, lovable, attractive. I mean, so we're watching this stuff, and I have it out with him, and he's not going to do it anymore, and blah, blah. But the waitress is still there. And you can see they're touching each other as they walk by, and suddenly, where are they? Where are they? And they're in the back again, and all this is going on. I beat the hell out of this guy and go through this whole process of what kind of husband are you, blah, blah, blah. The last day we're there, my crew and I were sitting in the office, and there's a security system with those big laser discs.
Sure.
And we drop one of those laser discs in a security system just to watch it. And the three of them are going at it in the kitchen table. So now we realize, hold on, this is a three-way thing going on here. Anyway, the things that we find are just unbelievable, Sam.
Yeah, because I guess, too, when you're dealing with people who will make the decisions that they make in their business, odds are they don't make the best personal decisions either.
Well said. You
right?
bet. Yeah.
Right, so you don't know, and you're sitting there going like, oh, wait, I can't be involved in this person's life to this degree because it's one of these black holes that takes everything with it.
Yeah. But if I don't try to change something about their personal life, I can't affect any change with the business. You're so right. It's so connected.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel guilt when even after the rescue, the bar shut down, like that Headhunters bar, even after you saved it, it was like the people are still the same people. The problems are still the same problems. They end up like shutting down after a year or two.
Remember, he didn't pay them?
Right, and he didn't
they all left and got other jobs and stuff, so he screwed himself.
They weren't on payroll. They worked only for tips.
Which is illegal, obviously.
Of course.
And then he has no insurance for them. There's no OSHA in place for them. The government has no knowledge that they're even in a building when they are. So what happens if you slip and fall? There's a whole ramification of ways you're screwing the employees when you do that.
Of course. Yeah. So when that happens, do you go like, oh, I wish I had done more? Or do you go, listen, I do all I can. Some people, it's sometimes going to take, sometimes it's not.
Secretly?
Yeah.
So this is just between you and I.
Just us. Nobody's going to hear it.
Sometimes the guy is such a jerk, you want him to fail. Yeah. Because he's just going to abuse the next employee.
Right.
Right? And he's going to abuse the next person. And you say to yourself, I don't really want to perpetuate this, man. So sometimes you leave by empowering the employees so they have the balls to say screw you to him.
Sure.
And stand up for themselves. If I do that, that's an accomplishment. If the business fails, but the employees are better off for it, I won.
Right.
So every episode there's a hero and a villain in a strange way.
Yeah.
Sometimes the villain is the employees and the hero is the owner, and the employees are really taking advantage of this person. Other times it's the other way around.
Yeah.
The owner's the villain and the employees are good people, and they're showing up and they're just trying to make a living, and this guy's not giving them the opportunity to do so. So when the guy's a jerk, that's when I'm a jerk.
Was it owners like that made you realize, okay, some of these shows I'm just going to have to walk off without fixing these bars?
I believe 3 times I have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are my favorite episodes.
Yeah,
I love those.
Oh, that was the one that we did O-Face. Oh man, that was
that's the best.
That was the first walkout we ever had.
Yeah, and do you sit there going like, we don't walk out, but I think I'm going to walk out of this show.
I've never done that before in the show. It's an example of having control of the show.
Yeah.
And working for an incredible network that gives me that freedom. So I'm standing there and I say to myself, guys, we can't remodel this bar. And what do we do? Well, let's get on the phone with the network, tell them the situation that we're in, and the answer was you got to do what you got to do, John.
Yeah.
And we candidly, what I did is I had an extra scene to get a little more content.
Yeah, because you got to fill the hour.
I got to fill the hour, so I had an extra scene to get a little extra content in there to make sure I had enough to make a show. And as soon as I did, I went in there and did what I had to do.
Wow,
it felt good. I got to tell you, buddy, that one felt really good.
It did.
And by the way, the ultimate vindication was about 2 years later, he got arrested and put in jail.
Right.
The owner of that place. So.
And that's when you can know I could trust my instincts.
Yeah,
I knew.
There's an example if you don't want him to perpetuate.
Right. And that's also so interesting because you are ultimately producing a television show. So you have to get on the phone with the network and go like, hey, because they still need an Act 3.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have to figure, okay, what's the Act 3? Maybe I'll shoot this. Do you ever go, okay, I'm 2.5 days into this rescue, I mean, we're going through the motions, but the good TV isn't there yet.
Yeah, there are flatter episodes than others.
And do you go like, okay, are you thinking consciously?
In those situations, as a host, you're really challenged. I can create fake tension,
right?
Create fake scenes, and make the episode have the energy of the others, but it's fake.
Right.
I'm getting angry at things I shouldn't be getting angry at. I'm blowing things up that I shouldn't. I'm screaming at them at moments when I shouldn't. I'm creating the episode rather than them creating the episode.
Right.
As a host, I don't do that. So I'm going to ride it out. I'm not going to make it fake. I just can't make it fake, Sam. It's against every bone in my body. I've walked off in the early days when the network tried to do those things. So that's all I can really try to do.
Right. Right, just tell the story of what's actually happening.
Try to tell the story. Try to make it as interesting as I can. Try to bring out the little, nuggets of the story that are interesting.
Right,
and dive in a little deeper into the story, into the family, into the things that could be meaningful.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Are you in the editing room as well, or do you just trust your people to tell the story?
I'm not in the editing room. We have a team that edits, but we go through about 8 or 9 edits.
Oh, wow.
When we start, the first edit might be about 70 minutes, and then we'll all make notes and send them back, and then the next edit will come down to about 60 minutes, and then each edit comes a little shorter. So let's say you're a character in the show, you don't mean anything.
Right.
You're probably going to be edited out.
Sure.
The characters that are more meaningful are the ones that we track the story.
But that's the process you're a part of, to make sure that the story still maintains integrity.
It's still me on there.
Yeah.
I still look at it as an extension of myself, so I don't let anything happen that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah. Season 9 returns next Sunday, by the way, on the Paramount Network, February 23rd at 10 p.m. And we already know that Donnie Wahlberg is going to be on. Danny Trejo is going to be on. Does it blow your mind? Because I would imagine that a lot of these guests that come on are fans of the show, yes?
It's funny. I met Jenny here at Sirius years ago.
Yeah.
And I was reading an Us Weekly magazine, and it said that Donnie and Jenny lay in bed on Sundays watching Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
So I read that, so I sent the note to Jenny online. This is 10 years ago or so. We became great friends. Donnie and I became great. So the answer is yes. Everybody. So I'm going to say right now to your audience, and they should pound the hell out of you on social media. We start shooting at the end of March. I want you to come back, do another episode this year.
I'm there.
Great.
I'm there. I'm 100% there. It's the best. And like I said, I can't tell you the amount. I mean, it's got such a cult-like following, and I'm part of the cult.
Yeah, you're part of the family, buddy.
So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things that I can talk about with anybody for like hours, just like this episode and that episode. What do you think? We were talking about before you came in of the way restaurants are handling the egg crisis. I'm sure you're aware of like just the prices of eggs are skyrocketing in certain areas. I don't know if you've seen, but the bodegas here in New York City, they're selling Lucy's now, you know, like Lucy cigarettes. They're selling eggs in plastic bags.
$1.50?
It's like, we'll give you like $3 or $4 for 3 eggs. And that's kind of what they're doing. And people are going like, I don't have $15 to buy a dozen eggs, but I got $3 in my pocket. I'll get
hatched a hell of a problem. Huh?
Yeah, they have.
You know,
they
it's
have. But what do you
interesting.
do?
I was at Denny's just this morning. I was reading, and their sales are down 23%, and their profits are down hugely because of the egg thing. So I understand they're going to put in a 50% surcharge on eggs.
That's what
I got to tell you. If I had a breakfast restaurant, I'd be running specials on pancakes. I'd be running specials on everything other than eggs.
Focus on the other
corned
stuff.
beef hash, all that. Just run specials on it, and move the eyeball from eggs to something else.
Yeah. They said Waffle House is putting in 50-cent surcharges on each egg, which also sucks because like those restaurants, whether it's a Denny's or a Waffle House, people go in and they're going, I'll have 6 eggs. You know what I mean? Like they're ordering big portions. They're not really thinking about the price per egg. They're looking at, this plate's going to be pretty inexpensive, but now it does put them in a position where they actually have to concentrate on the itemization. And I think that can be bad for the whole menu, because now you're not just doing it for eggs, you're doing it for, do I really need this side of bacon? Do I really need...
You reevaluate everything.
Right.
And right now, the marketplace is noisy, if you will. People are a little fatigued at the moment. So restaurant revenues are down a little bit. Costs are still going up. So it's a challenging time. It really is. And, people should remember that about 70% of the restaurants in America are individually owned, and about half of those are just single unit ma-pa restaurants.
Right.
And we're the largest non-government employer in America. So when the restaurant industry is in trouble, the country's in trouble.
Yeah.
It's too connective.
Right. And it's tough because, we're just getting out of the pandemic, which fucked over the restaurants crazy.
And the fucking continues now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really insane, but that's what you would do. Just go whatever doesn't have eggs in it. Focus on that.
Funny story.
Offer deals.
Since you brought the fuck word up, I'm going to tell another funny story. I'm doing Bar Rescue.
This is great.
And this owner gets screwed by his employees, by this guy. So I say on camera right in front of him, so he fucked you. He fucked you long, he fucked you hard, and he fucked you deep, didn't he? I said that on camera. And now we're watching the 8 edits go by. It made it past the first edit. Made it past the second edit. Made it. Son of a gun, that line aired.
It did?
They bleeped the fuck.
Sure, but it
the
aired.
rest of it aired. Absolutely. I forget what episode it is.
That's fantastic.
Do you remember which one that was, Sean?
You must have been very proud of that line. Because that's one of those things I can almost, as you're saying it.
Yeah.
We work in a place where our words are kind of our business, right? As you're saying it, when you go, he fucked you long, he fucked you hard. And then when you realize you're about to say deep, you're like, oh, this is poetry. This is beautiful.
It's a hell of a line, I thought.
It's great. It's great. And then the guy's got to say, yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, he did.
There was another in Tennessee where the husband was a real jerk to the wife. And I said to him, how big do you feel right now? He said, not your dick, you. that made the cut as well. So it's fun to do these kind of things. It's an amazing blessing to be able to do this every week the way I want to do it, in an authentic kind of way, and get a hug each week.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing when you think about that, Sam. And, we have microphones under our shirts and our chests. So when we do the hug at the end of the episode, nobody can hear what we're saying. It's all muffled.
Right.
But the things they whisper in my ear, buddy, are just incredible.
And it's real.
You're the father I never had, John. Wow, I needed that kick in the ass. My wife and I have a new outlook. My kids are proud of me again. Those things are incredible. And the ones that fight me the hardest give me the tightest hugs.
Do you see that sometimes, like, in the middle of these interactions, do you go like, oh, this person is fighting with me the way he fought with his father, or they're starting to be a kind of paternal, I can see how he's looking at me, and this goes back to childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it ends with him almost respecting me like a father.
Right.
It's powerful, the process that it goes through. But at the end of the episode, I'll always say to the kids, "You proud of your dad now?" "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
But 4 days earlier, they said I wasn't.
Is that a trip, though, for you to realize, like, because everything is moving so fast, but for each of those people, the connection is so deep, and not to say it's not deep for you, but you're making that connection. Now, next week, I'm going to make another connection, and next week, I'm going to make another connection. Like, to realize at the end of the year,
I feel them for that week. I do.
Right.
I feel where they're at. I have this gift of sensitivity or something to understand where they're at.
Right.
When to be angry, when to pat them on the back, when to, I have the skill to be able to do that. But it's fascinating. After 272 of them, once I leave, the connection is completely gone.
Wow.
And I would tell you honestly, and fans will probably be a little disappointed to hear this, but I'm going to be honest, if half of them walked past me now, I'm not sure I would recognize them.
Wow.
Isn't that strange?
It's really strange.
In that week,
moment,
they're the most important person in my life.
Yeah. But for your own mental health and for your life, you can't maintain all those connections.
No, I can't. Some of them, if they reach out to me, I keep in touch.
Sure.
And there's some that we're good friends over the years. But if they don't, I don't.
But also there are people you should not have in your life.
Absolutely.
Right? That you interact with for 4 days and go like,
we both met a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to wrap up. There's one question before we wrap up, okay? One question before we wrap up. Travis is so mad at me. But you are in a very valuable position because a lot of times successful people will give advice on how to be successful, but it's easy for them to say they're successful. You've encountered a lot of failure. Not to say that you've failed, but you've witnessed many people fail throughout Bar Rescue and everything. Why do you think people fail, and what's that common thing? Like somebody who's listening right now that's trying to do something, but it's not clicking.
Here we go. You ready?
Why do people fail?
And the book "Don't BS Yourself" is about this. You see, if you own a restaurant and you're failing,
right?
When you wake up in the morning, you don't look in the mirror and say, "I'm a failure." You blame it on something else. The marketplace, the marketing, that son of a gun, that agency, the construction on the road, the fucking mayor, the fucking governor, Congress, you blame it against something else. So you have no reason to change. It's not your fault. You keep failing. But what if you didn't allow an excuse to step in? What if you said, any time in my life I'm failing, it's because of me? Not anything else. Anything else other people get by, I should be able to get by it too. Now when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm a fucking failure. And you don't like it. And then you change. And when you accept failure is when you find success. When you own failure.